Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Mask and Cowl. I'm Justin. It's been, I think, 2 weeks since our last episode, but that one was a little bit early, so we technically haven't skipped a week yet, so we're good. You didn't get one last week, but that's because you got the episode a few days early with the Iron Lung review, so we're still on track. I'm happy with that.
They've been dying for us.
I know,
They've been
I know,
clamoring.
clamoring.
Too many messages, dude.
I
Too
know,
many messages.
absolutely. We're just banging on the doors. Where's our new episode, guys? Well, we've been busy, and I will take responsibility for not having one until now, just because like I was out of town last week, and so yeah, I wasn't able to record. But while I was out of town and while I was on a little bit of a break from work, I watched a lot of stuff. Just kind of some old stuff, some new stuff, a lot of stuff that's kind of sentimental, I think, to us or whatever, that we liked or whatever. A lot of stuff that we're gonna talk about a lot of things today. I think a big thing is probably gonna be Wonder Man. That's gonna be a big topic of discussion, at least like the most pertinent like thing probably.
Yeah.
We'll do our review of Wonder Man and all that. But first, before we get into all that, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm feeling good. I watched a lot since our last episode, but nothing like super crazy. There's nothing that I'm like chomping at the bit to talk about, you know? So,
I'm
um,
excited to talk about things, even though nothing, very little of what I've seen since then is stuff that I've seen like first time. A lot of it was like rewatches or stuff that we've even talked about on the podcast that we'll get into. But yeah, a lot of the stuff is stuff we've already talked about that I was like, I haven't watched that in a while. Let me go back and watch it. So, um, all
sounds
right,
good.
yeah, yeah. All right.
So,
So what do you want to start off? Do you want to start out with Wonder Man, or do
well,
you want to do something else?
I'll start off with what I saw before. I was alternating between two shows at once. It was basically like how much time did I have at the moment? Did I have an hour to spend on an episode, or did I only have 30 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of nice to have two shows to do that with. The 30-minute. Thank God. Let's just say, first of all, for Wonder Man, thank
Oh
God,
yes, the
each
run
episode
times were
was 30
great.
minutes long. It was
I
perfect.
blew
Like I'm
through
so
that.
glad.
Yeah, it was good. It's great.
We're gonna we'll get to that in a second. But first of all, we had talked about this off camera when we saw each other, just because I didn't know you had seen it, and I thought you'd just be like, "Oh, okay," and just kind of brush off, and you wouldn't get my thoughts. But you have seen it.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, I forgot about this.
Chernobyl.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Chernobyl. A lot of people put this in the conversation for one of the best TV shows of all time. So, but the thing is, the whole premise of a power plant disaster that, it's like a real life thing. To me, it's kind of like it doesn't sound that interesting. Let's be honest. Like the premise of it, you're kind of like, okay, like you're gonna tell me, you're gonna get me enthralled in a five. I thought it was gonna be 8 episodes. It's 5 episodes. They're an hour each. You're really gonna get me interested in a 5 episode TV show about a power plant. That doesn't sound interesting to me. So the wife wanted to watch it. I had heard it's great, so I was like, you know what? Sure, let's do it. Um, and it was really good. I probably give it like an 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm probably around the same thing. I watched it like last year, at some point. But I really enjoyed it. I think it's really great.
It's close to a 9. I think episodes 1 and 2. Episode 1 is like almost a 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
Episode
episode 1 is
2,
great.
yeah, episode 2 is like a 9. And then 3 and 4 lose me a little bit. It moves away from the danger of the power plant and like radioactivity, and like there's actual stakes going on, which is crazy that like this was going on, I think, in the 80s in Russia, and they weren't letting it out into the public of like how desperate the situation was. Like, based on the
Yeah, how
show,
big of a
they
deal
could have
it
nuked
was.
they could have nuked an entire
Yeah,
continent,
like just
and they
yeah,
were too prideful to ask for help. Like, we could have lost all of that off of the world if they messed up. Thankfully, it
that's an
worked,
insane
but
story. Yeah.
it's crazy. I was thinking about art. I'm trying to think of like, well, I wasn't born yet, but like, our dad was like a teenager when this is going on
Mm-hmm.
and has no idea, the gravity of the situation. And I'm like, this is crazy. But but it really does present it. What I think is key to this show in like the tension and like drawing you in is the music, the background music. They
The score
let
is
the
great. Yeah.
you know, like the crackling of
Hmm.
the radioactive thing, like when it's up against something, you hear.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if you can hear that. Anyway,
Yeah. Yeah.
they
Yeah.
use that so much in the show, and you would not think it, but that thing, they make radioactivity the most terrifying thing
Hmm.
like in the world, which it
Yeah,
basically
it
is.
really
But
is.
like you don't think about it.
It's so scary, but it's so cool, man. There's just such, I don't know. To me, like that show is just fantastic. It's one of the greatest shows I've ever seen. On it, in my opinion,
Yeah,
it's up there.
it is.
Um, like there's a lot of it. Honestly, for me, there's just like certain scene. I don't know why. Like I think like I feel like it's the first or second episode. Um, it was hitting me like I don't know, like looking back on it, like I said, it's probably been like a year since I watched this, and so I'm trying to remember. Like I don't remember all the details of everything that happens, but certain like random scenes that probably aren't that important but are kind of important are the ones that stood out to me the most. Like you were
Yeah,
talking about 3 and 4, and that has to do with like the dogs and stuff like that. Is one of them with Barry Keegan's character.
yeah.
That obviously stands out to me a lot. That was a very tough episode.
Gut wrenching.
Like I remember the storyline with the people who went in there, the various different groups who like went in there and like basically risked themselves. Some of them like got really sick afterwards, but also like I think it was in the first episode, like the main character who's like firefighter, so, like one of the main characters who focused on a little bit, who's like a firefighter. I think it's the guy whose wife like has the
Yeah,
baby or whatever. But like when they show up, there's like just a rubble or whatever. They're like, is it like graphite? Is that what they're talking about or something like that?
it's
They're like, is
graphite.
that graphite? You're like, no, that's not graphite. And it's like a recurring theme, and it's like you just like I don't know. For some reason, that really stuck with me. Like that's that like that they don't understand what they're looking at right now.
Well, to be
It's
honest, I wouldn't
insane.
either.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
no,
either.
like, but
The
that
fireman
aspect of
picks
it,
it up.
I know, and I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, his hand is just
yeah,
gone.
but he doesn't feel it for
Yeah, no, you
like
don't. Yeah, you don't
a
realize it.
few minutes, and then he's just it's just terrifying. Which I looked it up, and I'm like, you don't feel any heat
No, no,
when
yeah,
with
it's
like
not like it's
radioactive
literally
burns.
just like eating at your cell, or like it's like on the like I don't know. I'm gonna be really ignorant the way I would describe it, but like the way that my like I kind of imagine what's going on, it's almost like a cellular. You're just eroding away. Like it's
Yeah,
not like it's necessarily hot. It's that it's crazy. It's such a and captivating just like the concept and story and stuff. It's so good, man. I kind of
and
want
it's
to
really
rewatch
sad
it.
watching. You're like, all these people are gonna die. Like
Oh, a
all
lot
these
of them.
people, like
Yeah.
you're
I
if you're not
can't
dying
believe
now, you're dying in like five
I can't believe
years.
even with how lucky they ended up getting and like and not just luck, but like obviously the bravery of a lot of the people who sacrificed to
Yeah,
succeed in the mission by the end. But like I'm surprised at how many people didn't die, even
yeah.
considering. Like I'm like there's people who were like in the town who were like looking out at the murder. I think a lot of them actually survived. They might have had like, like some
The
health issues
people
and
on the
stuff.
bridge,
Did
the
they all
people on the
die?
bridge all died.
Okay,
They all
okay.
died.
I
That's why
I,
it's
feel,
called the Bridge of Death.
I feel like I remember that part. But like the people who were in
Yeah.
the town like right next to it, a lot of them who went to the bridge or whatever, but like a lot of those people like the pregnant woman probably would have I don't know about being fine, but she wouldn't have had nearly like I
She,
feel like that whole
the reason
town
why
should have been
she,
as sick as she was because she just kept exposing herself to her husband.
well, the reason why she survived is because they said the baby absorbed
Absorbed all of it,
all the
yeah, which
radiation,
is crazy.
and the baby when she had the baby, it only lived for like 4 hours and died,
Yeah,
which they warned her about, and she just constantly
was
like
just with
did
yeah.
not listen. Yeah, but overall, like the show's great. The main character is a Russian scientist, and he works with a Russian general or something like that. And at the beginning, you think like, okay, it's going to be constantly the scientist tells him it's this issue, and the general tells him, "Shut up, you don't know what you're talking about. You're just a scientist."
Mhm.
And you think that's the dynamic. The whole
But then
show, you're going to be
yeah,
like
and then it
button heads.
yeah,
Yeah,
and that would have
like
gotten
it
really
takes like
tired really fast. Yeah, I agree.
yeah. By the end of like the first episode, I think they show up at the first episode. It might have been the second, but they're basically working hand
Yeah,
in hand.
very
They're now
quick. Like at
buddies
first
because
he
they.
is like you have that initial butting of heads,
Mhm.
but then once he realizes like what's actually happening, he's like, oh, and then it's those two, like that you have like two different like levels of like expertise. Like you've got the scientist who knows what's going on, and you get the guy who knows like the kind of the politics of it. It's like
He knows
he
and he
knows how to
knows
handle the
people.
people or whatever. So you got
Yeah.
those two working together against all the people who would normally be like, no, you're clearly overreacting and stuff like that. You have both those people who are able to work together to express to these dumb people, no, this is serious, guy. And man,
And
it's
there's
so it's such a
like
good.
you could I feel like
I
we could
think I'd
spend
give it a
so much
9 at
time
least.
just because like the sheer amount of characters you could like the miners are great in this.
Hmm.
The lead got miner who walks up and he like walks in the trailer and the general tells the scientist like, listen, with miners, just be honest with them. Like we're talking about like Minecraft miners, not like kids. Anyway,
Yes.
um
Yes.
uh I'm not in the files.
No.
Anyway,
Oh
the miner
gosh.
walks in
Okay.
and he's like, he has the mask that they gave the miners that'll be working,
Yeah.
and he's just like, "Do these work?" And they're like, "To an extent." And so he gets done. The miner gets through their BS, and he's just like, "If these things work, y'all would be wearing them." And he just tossed it, and they went and worked. But even those guys, those ones I think had the saddest because I think that afterwards it said none of the miners lived past 40 years old,
Mm.
which sucks. But and even
Mm.
the reactor workers, they're all so great. Um, it's just really I don't know if you remember Komyuk, the woman who was kind of doing the investigation for Legazov, the scientist. She was trying to find out what happened that night. She was urging Legazov to tell the truth at the end. Um, Something about her, I did not like her at all. She just seemed like too much of a know-it-all and goody two-shoes and all that stuff. But when it showed after the show was done, they said that there was a ton of scientists helping Legazov out, and it was just going to be too much to include them in the show. So they merged them all into one person, and that was Komyuk. And when I read that, like she was my negative of the show, but when I read that, I was like, okay, that makes more sense. Like, of course, an amalgamation of a bunch of people is going to have very strong opinions because you're trying to you know per per and per personify those opinions of everybody into one, so it's going to be weird. So that one I have no problem with. It's really just I think when it gets away from the radioactivity danger and gets into the whole espionage part of it, that's when it loses me. I want to get back to the danger. I want to know what happened that night. um,
Yeah.
but yeah, and it's crazy that how long like the show was made in like 2019, I think, something like that. Did you know that like because they had to build a covering, like a
Right.
dome
Yeah. Hmm.
covering.
Yeah. I looked into a
That
lot of this
only got
stuff after I
did
watched.
you
Yeah. I think you're going
that
through the
only got
same
done in
stuff
like
I did.
2017.
Yeah.
Like that just got done like not even 10 years ago, and that happened like 30, 40
Also,
years
that
ago.
like that area is still like under like lockdown, or like you can't. You're not supposed to
I
go
don't
in
think
there for like a
I don't
long
think it's
time.
yeah, I don't think it's inhabitable for like 25,000 years.
Yeah, it's great.
I
And
don't
then
think we're
like
not going to be
there's still
alive.
animals and stuff that like they'll see that have like mutations or whatever. Like there'll be like deers running around with two heads and stuff like that, or like dogs and stuff like. There are animals that like
That's
are
crazy.
around that area that you can like see. I doubt they live long, but like there are animal. They probably go in and like get irradiated and have short lives or whatever, or like but they have like offspring and that probably also don't live for. I don't know. I don't know how it works, but it's intense. It's crazy. One thing I want.
Overall, great show.
Yeah, I think I had to give it like a 9, honestly. Like it's really good. Um, you mentioned something real quick I wanted to bring up. I don't know if you know who this person is, because you mentioned the miners like not living past like 40 or 50 or something like that. We had a death this week. We had a couple deaths in the past 2 weeks. I don't know if you know who either of these people are. You got to know who one of them is. Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah, it's Home Alone mom.
Yeah, and she was in I'll just say Craps Creek, whatever. That's the most recent
Hmm.
thing I know her from. I really like that show. It's a fun show. It's kind of
It's
weird.
okay.
Yeah, but like it grows on
It
you.
takes an adjustment. Yeah,
It does not feel great at first, I feel like. But like once you get used
yeah.
to the characters and stuff, it's charming. Um but yeah, and that was really sad. And then I think yesterday You know who James Vanderbeek is?
No, I saw stuff for that. I don't think I know him from anything.
Man, I haven't known about James Vanderbeek. I wasn't like a big fan or anything like that, but like there in college there was like a handful of shows that I got introduced to and got really into in college, or like that I really enjoyed. That like were kind of like staple shows for me in college. And one of the most like random ones, but like stuck with me, was called "Don't Trust the Bee" in Apartment 23. And it has is it Kristen Ritter? What is her name? Jessica Jones,
Yeah,
Kristen Ritter.
yeah.
Um,
Kristen Ritter.
it's got her as it's got her, another girl who I forget who it is right now, but then it's got James Vanderbeek, and he plays himself. And like it's like the butt of the joke and all of his stuff or whatever is that he's James Vanderbeek, and that like, but he's like a main character. Like he's not like just a recurrent like a side thing or whatever. Like he's like one of the three leads, but he's playing
Yeah.
himself, and it's just like he's like, oh yeah, I was Dawson on Dawson's Creek. Like he's just this. Oh man! And then that show just immediately endeared me to him. He was just such a cool guy. I never watched Dawson or anything like that, but like, man, this guy was like an icon in the '90s, and it's just like everything I did see him in after that point or whatever. I really liked him. I think he was in. I don't see this on his IMDb. I could be wrong. I kind of want to double check this because I don't know if this would show up. I don't think this would show up on a like IMDb unless it was like another category or something. But I think he was in a there was a fan film or like a fan short, I guess, for like a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers type thing. I need to send this
Okay.
to you. Like, you weren't big on Power Rangers, right, growing up or whatever.
Listen. I love Power
Oh, okay,
Rangers. I
cool.
love Power
Yeah,
Rangers growing up.
I like everyone's got like different eras of Power Rangers, right? So like Mighty
Yeah.
Morphin, I got in on the butt end of Mighty Morphin, and he wasn't in Power Rangers,
And
but he was in this fan film, which was really cool because he's like a
okay.
big star, and it's like a fan film on YouTube or whatever. But it's really good because
Yeah.
it's like a 10-minute long, really gritty thing. It's supposed to be like 20, 30 years in the future. Everyone's like dark and gritty. It's like an apocalyptic world. um
Okay.
they're like superheroes, but like rebel superheroes, like the world's taken over by the bad guys or whatever. And they bring back a few of the old Ranger, like the old Mighty Morphin ones, and they like it looks really
That's cool.
gritty for the suits or whatever. But man, it was really cool. It was a really cool little fan short. I'll send it to you later. But I'm pretty sure he played. I'm pretty sure he was one of the people in it as like the Red Ranger or something like that. He wasn't one of the recurring, the returning people. He was just a person that they got for this. But
Yeah.
like it had like Tommy, who was like the original Green Ranger. I'm pretty sure he was in
Yeah.
it. Maybe. I think he passed away. Yeah, he did pass away like a handful of years ago now too.
Yeah.
Um, but man, that was good, man. I don't know. It was around that time that came out was when I actually started like that I knew who James Vanderbeek was. So that was pretty cool. I could be talking about my butt.
I
I don't even know.
I
I'm not 100%
always
certain because I don't see any reference to that on his IMDb. But
I always loved SPD, Jungle Fury, Ninja. Is it Ninja Storm? Like
Ninja Storm,
those ones.
that's one of the ones that I did know about or did watch. Ninja Storm. My favorite was always In Space. There's something so weird and iconic about those suits to me. They're
Let
like
me look those.
they've got like the squares. They've got like a white band across the chest, and they have like all the color. Like they all have all the colors except for the silver, who had like just a bunch of green squares with like grids on them.
I don't like
I
those.
like them a lot.
I don't like those.
Yeah, okay, he
I
was.
think those.
Yeah, he
I'll
was
be honest.
definitely in this.
I think those are some of the
2015.
worst.
No, I love the In Space is my favorite. Is my favorite suit.
No, I love Jungle Fury's great.
Jungle Furies are good, man. Nah, I love In Space.
Ninja Storm. The dinosaur one,
There's a few
Dino
dinosaur
Thunder.
ones. Jungle
Well,
Fury
there's a
is good,
few
but
of
I did
every
not
single
watch
one.
Jungle Fury. What?
You didn't watch Jungle Fury?
I did not. That was after my time. Dino Thunder was also after my time because eventually, like Disney bought the rights to it for a while, and I think they lost them a few years ago. Also, um, I think Ninja Storm was one of the first ones. I could be wrong about the timeline, but Ninja Storm was like when it started coming on like Disney XD or Disney Channel or something like
Yeah.
that.
That's how I got it.
Yeah. But like Dino Thunder, I remember was very popular because it was like returning to because Mighty Morphin was dinosaurs, and then I think after that, like one or two seasons had was kind of dinosaur-y, I think, and then they moved away from that, and every season like had its own different thing. But then Dino Thunder like
Yeah.
went back to the dinosaur theme, and it just worked.
It's just cool that they can just do that, honestly. It like I feel like Power Rangers is one of the most underrated IPs in terms of like how
I need them to
kind of
do like that.
relatability.
That could be such a good IP for
Yeah.
like a live action thing. Like the one that they did a few years ago.
It wasn't horrible.
Yeah, it wasn't horrible, but it also wasn't great either. And the product placement was
Yeah.
like the most insane product placement I've ever seen in the movie.
Krispy Kreme.
It was crazy.
It's got
but-
Billy from Stranger Things.
What? It does?
He's the Red Ranger.
Holy crap! I forgot about that movie. That he was in that. Yeah, it's 2017. Yeah, man, that's crazy.
Anyway,
Yeah. Anyway, so that's a little random side tangent. I just rest in peace to Catherine O'Hara and James Vanderbeek.
yeah.
And apparently we both like Power Rangers. That's good. It's good to know. I hope we get some Power Ranger news sometime. Because I like Power Rangers.
I'm all for it.
So, all right.
all
So
for it.
we got one thing out of the way. We got Chernobyl out of the way. What else? What's next?
Yeah.
We got a lot of stuff to talk about.
Wonder Man.
All right, let's
I
get
think
into
Wonder
Wonder Man.
Man. We should help Wonder Man.
All right. Do you want to
So,
start
out
with the
of
score out of
10.
10? Okay.
So let me get it together. I think I'm ready.
Okay. I'm a little nervous
Okay.
because I'm kind of going, but I'm between. A lot of my things I feel like I'm always like, oh, I'll give it like a this or this point this or whatever. And I always got that 5-point swing kind of in my thing.
That's what I'm thinking in my head
And
too,
like,
yeah.
but the one that I have, I feel like it's just a drastic difference between the number and the number 0.5. And I guess
I think we're gonna probably end up on the same score if we're thinking the same.
all right.
All right. Ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. 7 out of 10.
Okay, I was between 6.5 and
Wow.
7. There's a lot I
was
really
still
like about
good.
this. Yeah,
It was still good.
I like honestly earlier in the week. I've had a while to sit with this and think with it honestly. And you watched it before I did.
Yeah.
Like when I watched it, I was like,
You
"Oh,
watch
this
it
is like
all
a,
in one sitting?
I did, yeah. This is like a set. I was
So
when I was
that
watching
might-
it, I was
yeah.
like 7.5. You know, I was really enjoying it. I want to say, I want to like kind of give my like overall real quick about it because the thing is, I love the dynamic between Simon and Trevor.
Yeah.
And I love everything about the show that has nothing to do with the superhero stuff. All the acting stuff and the like workshopping Hollywood, like all that stuff or whatever, that I love that stuff. That stuff was fantastic. To me it just didn't
Yeah.
make a lot of sense. To me this show is like this is like in the same category. This is like in the same league to me. I kept comparing it to She-Hulk. This show feels like She-Hulk to me. It's like
No.
on par with She-Hulk.
No.
Yes.
This doesn't insult my intelligence.
You're just your intelligence needs to be insulted if you just
Listen,
can't give it the
listen.
time of day.
Here's the difference. I'm gonna give you the difference in one comparison. All right. She-Hulk, okay, makes fun of Hulk.
Everyone
it
says
has-
that. It doesn't. It doesn't. You're
It
wrong.
does. She-Hulk says, listen, I'm a woman. You have no idea how I know how to control my emotions. You've been through nothing as, Bruce Banner, Steve Banner, as the Hulk, whatever.
You're
haven't had a
adding
glimpse. It's
so
like,
much. You're intuition pumping that whole
the
conversation.
way she's saying that sentence and how she's talking, she literally says, like, you have no idea. Like, I'm a woman. I know what it's like. It's just like, you haven't been hunted by the government. Anyways, so that's to me is like, that whole show is a slap in the face to any kind of fan of some sort. In Wonder Man, you want to know what my favorite thing probably about the show is? They acknowledge repeatedly throughout the show, aren't you the Mandarin? Like, they don't let that pass, even though that was like what, 15 years ago at this point, everybody remembers you're the Mandarin. And it's not like he's, by the way, for spoiler alert, okay, for people that haven't seen the show, uh, the the agencies haven't forgot he was the Mandarin. It's not like Trevor's a free guy now in America.
Yeah,
no, no, no,
there's a lot of
he
good.
gets arrested as soon as he's in America.
There's a lot of good continuity.
They do not break that. They don't insult my intelligence. That for me is a huge boost. Like, I feel like, okay, yeah, sure. If a guy posing as a terrorist touchdown in America, first thing that happens, he's getting tackled.
Okay, yeah, okay. I didn't know if you got frozen there for a second. You didn't.
No, you're good.
Like, the thing is, I feel bad giving it a 6.5. And that's why I was between 6.5 and 7. Because I'm like, there's so much good in this. There's a ton of good.
I was between a 7.5 and a 7.
Yeah, like, while I was watching it, I was. But, like, when it ended, for one thing, I really don't like the ending. I think the ending I think it's also around the ending of She-Hulk. Like, the worst part of She-Hulk is the ending. The ending is terrible in She-Hulk. This, it might be a little bit better. I think it's a little bit better.
This is better. It's not even close.
But, like, everything before that is better. Yeah, okay, so this is better than She-Hulk. But, man, like what is the point of this? What is the point of the show? That's my problem. That's why I'm like, is it good? Because, like, it's got all this good stuff in it, but it's like, what is the point of it?
So, you know what this is almost like, I guess, like the Guardians holiday special. They have these random.
The Guardians holiday special has a point.
Well, no, I'm saying, like, you know how, like, comics will have, like, these random issues or these random comics that really there's no big bad you're trying to beat. It's just like you're delving into some random hero's, life. And a lot of comic book fans love that stuff. They eat that up. They're like, that's my favorite comic because you really see the depth of the character. And it's just like,
I agree.
Yeah,
I think all that aspect of it is great. That's where it succeeds. The problem is it just never ties into anything.
And that's, to be honest, I don't have a problem with now. I was okay.
I didn't need okay, to be clear though, I didn't need some big CGI battle. I didn't need him to become an actual superhero by the end of it per se. Like, I get that it's not trying to do that. But okay, I'm like, I went in expecting, okay, that's not what this is going to be. So, what is it? And then it never really, I don't think it ever really
doesn't answer the question, really.
It doesn't answer the question of what you are then. Like, I'm fine with you do it. Like, that's why I like She-Hulk.
Or are you a superhero?
And apparently Wonder Man the character is both. He's like his alter ego is this actor, right? But in the comics and I think Doorman is one of his villains.
That might be the best episode in the whole show, by the way.
I don't know. I don't think so. One, I think that dude could not act.
Like, he's not an actor.
No, I'm saying, like, the guy playing him couldn't. I don't know. That guy.
Well, that's what he's trying to act out, that he can't
That's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point. I wasn't talking about him in the roles. I was talking about, like, this is like a really awkward just dude, but there's people just like that. So, scratch that. I'm wrong. You're right. Yeah, that's better. It was a very good, very interesting. I kept waiting. I was like, okay, so is this going to tie back in somehow? I was like, part of me was like disappointed because I'm like, okay, so are they gonna bring him back by the end and he's going to be like a problem that Wonder Man's going to have to do something? And I'm like, part of me was like if you do that, I'd be fine with it because at least you're tying it in. And, like, clearly that's what I want a little bit of. But at the same time, I'm like, I feel like if you do that, you're also going to be kind of taking away from whatever you're trying to do here, which is something different. So I was like, kind of fine with it. But to me, it just felt a little bit less. Like, I don't know.
I think the best part about.
Yeah.
I think the best part of that is I got gaslit because I was scrolling Twitter before I watched the show and I saw Josh Gad went missing, and I'm like, how do you lose Josh Gad?
I kept seeing those memes on, like, I kept seeing memes about it.
Report. Yeah, I thought it was a real report. I was like, how do you lose Josh? I literally said to myself, like,
I think I saw it like once. Yeah, before
I saw that, and I knew he was in Wonder Man. I heard that he's in Wonder Man. I'm like, oh, that sucks. He's in Wonder
I
Man.
didn't hear about
Maybe it
that. Yeah.
happened after they got them filming. And so I'm watching the third episode, and like when it starts, I tell my wife, I'm like, yeah, apparently Josh Gad's missing. And we get to the part where like he disappears, he misses, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. It's like my
Yeah, no,
fault.
that kind
Look
of
it up.
got spoiled for me because like again, I watched it like a week or two after it came out. Excuse me. But uh, yeah, I think I saw a post about that. I was like, oh, that's weird, but I thought it was just like weird Hollywood stuff or whatever. I don't know. But then like a day later, I saw another thing about it, and then I saw people like joking in the comments or whatever about like, oh yeah, like I don't know, they were referencing Wonder Man. I was like, oh, this is clearly something that happens in Wonder
Yeah.
Man.
By the
And then
way,
I
Josh
forgot
Gad
about it.
is great. Josh Gad is great when he's singing "In Summer" in the
Yeah,
club. I
like
was like,
it was pretty fun. It was pretty fun. Like, man, I just don't like the only because I don't think anything in it. I think there are things in it that are great. Maybe it should be a 7. I don't know. It's hard.
so
This is what I'm
what do you,
struggling with
so
because for
in
me,
my opinion,
there's a lot of really strong stuff and there's a lot of like really weak stuff. And to me, the weak stuff is like any superhero stuff. I think that that's kind
so I
of
got a question for you. What do you think of Wonder Man Simon, like his character? What do you think?
um. I think he's kind of. I think he's like annoying. Like I kept wanting
He
to.
sucks.
He sucks. Yes,
He
I'm like
sucks
I keep wanting like Trevor carries the show. Well, like don't get me wrong,
so well.
Simon is like the acting and stuff is good, but I'm like he
Oh
just
yeah,
keeps
actor's
making bad
phenomenal.
decisions, and I'm like he treats people poorly,
And you know what
and he just
sucks?
keeps and you
He
keep
doesn't.
rooting for him and wanting him to get better, and he just keeps doing stuff that's like what are you doing, man?
And he
Like you're
doesn't
screwing
treat
over.
anyone. He doesn't treat anyone well until he's successful.
Yes. Well,
And I'm like, I don't care if you're nice now, dude. I don't care you're
well,
like helping Trevor out.
for me, like I do, like I like that he's conscious enough to be like, oh, yeah, like that he's not like leaving his people in the dust or whatever, blah blah blah. Blah. You know, he's
Like what are you talking about Trevor or are you talking about
no, I'm talking about like like you're like he's
his
nice, but he's
family?
like he doesn't become because it's weird because he's his brother's kind of right, but also like I disagree with his
His
brother about
brother
like
is so right.
his brother's a jerk also, don't get me wrong, because like I'm fine with Simon, like I'm fine with people like that who want to like follow your dream. That's what I'm doing right now, like, but follow your dream or whatever and do that, and I think his brother is less important than he should be, but also like Simon, it seems like Simon just kind of takes advantage when he can or whatever here and there, but I also think
Yeah.
I do think that he's too hard on him. The mom is great, like the mom's
Mom's
character is
great.
great, Trevor's great, and like
Trevor
Simon,
is
I think
so
Simon
good.
is a good character. I think Simon's a good guy, but he keeps getting in his way, and it's so frustrating.
I don't know how would you make this show, and this is what concerns me about Brand New Day. I hate to always connect it to Spider-Man, but this was same guy, what's his name? Daniel Dustin Cretton, something like that. Um, he Dustin Daniel Cretton, I think. Anyway, he did this show. He did Shang-Chi. I like Shang-Chi, the character. I don't know how you make a show about a dude and you make him as unlikable as Simon. Which the thing with Simon is sometimes there's flashes where you're like, there's something there. Like you could, if you could just tweak the character a little bit. But for me, I'm like, this dude is always whining. He's always trying to, like, weasel his way into something, and I don't like that. And then
But
the
also,
moment that he's successful, he's finally nice.
but
And I
also
don't like that either.
like, but I understand like there, but at the same time, like, there's part of it. It's like you got to be that way to an extent in like his career, and also like he's had it hard. He's been doing it for a decade. Like I get all that, but the
But that's
problem
his
is.
fault.
But kind of, but also no, because like there's people who are doing this for a decade or more and just never catch
I
their
know,
break or whatever. They're
but the
struggling
fact that
artists or whatever.
but that's not what it's set
But
up to
like
be.
he doesn't
It's set up as
adjust. He
no,
doesn't.
I know, but it's set
Yeah.
up to be he's not succeeding because he's making other people's jobs harder because he's like, well, I want to know more
Yeah.
about this character, and I'm like, bro, at this point in your career, you shut up and you read the lines.
Yeah, and I
That's
understand.
what you do.
And if this was like his year, like if he was 2 or 3 years in, he was still doing this, fine. But you've been here a decade. Like it's like he just refuses to. It's like you don't have to lose this part of yourself. You just have
Yeah.
to like,
Put it on hold.
yes, like like you play the part for a while or whatever. You've got to like follow before you can lead like that. Or whatever.
I was
And
trying.
I think that Trevor, like I like when Trevor and him are together. I love both of them when they're together.
Trevor is the best part of the show.
Yeah, Trevor is the best
By
part of
far.
the show. But the two of them together, like I don't know. Have you watched another podcast recently?
Yeah.
They didn't review this, but they talked about it briefly, and they were talking about like this duo in comparison to the
Yeah,
Thunderbolts.
I don't know if I.
And I'm like, I don't put them on that level. I think that's a little crazy, but like to me, this is like I want to see these two in
Well,
the
some
MCU
people were saying
now.
it's a top 5. Some people were saying it's a top 5 duo in the MCU already, and I'm like,
No,
I don't know about that.
but like
only one of them has
yeah.
powers, and he doesn't even know how to use them. I don't know what we're talking about.
Also, that kind of bugged me. Well, it didn't bug me, but it's just like the finale of this show is just so opposite of the rest of the show. It's like the whole show he's just like, I gotta hide my powers, I gotta not be a superhero, I gotta not do this, I gotta be an actor, and all that stuff. And the last, I know that he got that, and he's like, you know what, that's not what I want. Now I'm gonna finally go, or whatever, I'm gonna go save my friend or whatever. But then
is
it's like,
is that what he decided?
I don't. Who knows? Because they didn't tell us. That's like
Because I don't know how you break him out, and then you go back.
no,
to
you
being
don't.
An
Yeah,
actor,
exactly.
and
You don't. I don't think you do.
I don't think you can.
Yeah, and
I think also, I think one of the worst parts was also the damage control guy.
Yeah, he was pretty bad. But also like we just get like tiny little glimpses at Simon's powers throughout, and then the finale. I guess he's just been practicing.
He learned
off camera, like which.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's not the biggest nitpick in the world, but it's just
kind of weird that
stupid.
You've had your powers like your whole life, and you learn
which we don't get any information about.
Old.
It's annoying because if this was just the story,
what happened to his dad?
If this was just the story of the, I know they're giving us so much like breadcrumbs, and then just nothing comes of it. Is my problem. It's like, what is the point of this show? Either be a superhero show or be a show about like these two actors.
Basically, my rating is this show good?
I guess like to me like you at least have to have like there's a lot of good like scenes and stuff like that. There's a lot of good acting. There's a lot of good writing. There's a lot of good in it. I just don't know what the whole like. It's just like a bunch of good stuff thrown in, but there's no presentation. I don't know what the thing I'm looking at is. So how can I call it a good thing if I don't know what I'm looking at? That's the only reason that I can't give it a 7 or a 7.5.
Well, I think a lot of it is like another question I had is they framed it that Trevor told the damage control, hey, you need to kind of bait him into the situation where I audition with him for this movie. So it's just like, okay, so they let Simon, say Wonder Man's back to get Simon to come out and audition for it. So they profiled Simon to do that. Mm-hmm. So then is this movie real? And if so, was he really selected? Like, was him being selected not part of Damage Control's plans?
These are all good questions that they just don't tell us. Like
because he gets selected,
you can,
and then when they arrest Trevor, that should be it of the whole movie. They say, "Oh, okay, it was a fake production. We got our guy."
I don't think it was fake. I just think that it happened. It was kind of, if anything, I think it's just a bunch of coincidences because they're like, "Oh, this kid loves Wonder Man since he was a kid."
But they set that up.
Like,
Trevor says you need to get an audition, a big part that will get him out. And
I don't think that they created the Wonder Man movie thing. I think that they're like looking at, like, they're using their
powers that be to get him in the audition.
Well, powers that be, then like, oh wait, okay, here's a connection. There is a Wonder Man movie coming out that they're making. we're gonna make it so that he has all the stuff in place to get in there, basically, because he has a connection to one. He's gonna want this one, type of deal. Because that's all Trevor says is like find something that he's gonna care about, and put him up for that one or whatever. And I think that they do. I don't think that
to me, when they say put him up for that one, that means that they put his name like on the list. Like, hey, we need like to the director. Like, hey, we need you to. We're trying to profile this guy. We need you to like let him.
But are you
yeah,
like that? I could agree with. But like it sounded like it keeps sounding like you're saying that that they're engineering the whole
as
movie
a fake production.
As a fake, which I don't think. I think that the movie was going to be made. It's just a matter
that makes sense. But
out.
then you reach the point of, was he not supposed to get selected?
I think I don't know. Well, because maybe he wasn't. They were just, well, you know, also like maybe he wasn't. That was just to get him and Trevor connected, right?
Yeah,
but then like Von Kovac actually liked him, so that was just kind of a happy accident. Von Kovac was great. Yes, yeah, Von Kovac was great. Yeah.
The other auditioners were great.
I didn't realize it until the end of the movie or whatever. I did not realize. It made me so mad when in the movie the guy who replaces Trevor is the guy that they go visit.
His friend?
His friend that stole the lead from him on the doctor show or whatever. That's that guy. The guy who replaces him in the movie is that guy. And so when he asked him like who'd they get to, like he was breaking him out of the jail, or who'd they get to play Bentley or whatever. He's like, oh, don't worry about it. it's because it's that same guy.
Okay. That was probably the worst episode though. Number 2, by the way. That was.
I like
that guy's house.
I like that because that was to me that was like the one of the first times you see that, like, you know, Simon is connecting with Trevor because Simon sticks up for Trevor when they're at the guy's house, and I'm like, I like that, like Simon showing like some character there. And I mean, like, I don't think that Simon is like a terrible person, but it's like he keeps doing he's a guy who just keeps tripping over himself, and it's frustrating.
Yeah, but the thing is, you're supposed to empathize and feel sorry for this character and want him to win, but I'm kind of like,
I feel sorry for the situation.
He's so selfish.
That like, but it's not a specific to him situation. It's like this is your generic, this is your struggling actor situation, but you're like he's not dealing with it in the best way. He's almost like having like temper tantrums or whatever, which maybe he's more prone to that because of his powers. I don't know, but like he's just,
I don't know,
like which to me, I was kind of thinking that Trevor was kind of helping him get better about, because Trevor was like giving him good advice the whole time or whatever. Like, yeah, I don't know. Like I like both of them. Trevor does carry the show. Trevor was fantastic. Like, this dude gets better in every MCU product he's in. Like, he's so Iron Man 3 this stuff more. This and Shang-Chi make him better in Iron Man 3 because of what you I agree 100%. Yes. Like, because you understand I
loved Iron Man 3 before.
Yeah, like I liked it, but like his character just gets better, which this show, like, it could have the Stranger Things effect to where, like, I like the later stuff. Like, if these guys are in more, and then we look back, you know, years from now, if these guys are MCU staples,
and this first season,
and like this is like where they came from or whatever, and like look like we could see like, oh, where they're gonna go from here when we look back on it. This could be considered great. I just, like, right now, I don't know what this is. I don't know what I'm looking at, and that's my problem with it.
I don't think I want anything more. Not that I hated them, but I just kind of like, I don't know where you go that like I buy into.
I want like more, and I think that's why I'm like, to be, I'm not satisfied with I really didn't like this finale. To me,
I like that he broke him out. I like that he broke him out.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I don't like the way it was set up. This feels like it feels like She-Hulk. It feels like just throwing the script at the wall. Like, this is what you guys want to see, right? Just whatever. She-Hulk. Yeah, I think She-Hulk is a little bit worse, but
yeah, Trevor's great. I think for Simon, big thing for me is maybe it's just any kind of actor person who, like, it feels like is causing their own issues. I can't relate with you. You're like, oh, things aren't fair. They're not going my way.
Right. And like, okay,
And you're a struggling actor. It's hard for me to relate with that person.
right. And but you don't immediately feel that way. To be clear, you don't feel that way the first time you see him struggling like that on it. You're like, okay, that's setting up like who he is or whatever. We assume like when he's on his first thing for American Horror Story or whatever, and he's having that problem with the thing. Like those are all like the passion, and everything he has in that. That's an admirable quality to have in an actor. Those are good features.
Yeah.
But like but then like later when you find out like, oh, he's been at this for 10 years, and then like you're also like, and he doesn't get better. He doesn't get better
But
at any of the stuff. He doesn't
the thing
like
is, you don't
reflect on himself
you
and
don't
like
see,
the yeah.
but you don't see any redeemable qualities in terms of like he only cares about himself through the whole show.
I think he does care about like, I mean, he cares about his family, he cares about Trevor,
He
but
cares
like
about his mom.
he
By the
does
way,
put himself.
one of the best scenes is when he tries to call his brother, doesn't pick up. He gets the interview, and the
It's like, oh yeah,
interviewer is
your
just
brother
like,
had all stuff
yeah,
good stuff to say.
yeah. He said
Yeah,
like
I was like,
that
yeah,
you were doubted so much, including him, and he's so proud of you. And I'm like, that's right, Simon. You suck.
yeah. And but then like the way that I don't know why it didn't occur to me until right then, like, oh yeah, this is a terrorist. Like,
Yeah. They don't forget.
by the
They don't
way,
forget.
it just like pivots, and I'm like, oh, I was so
Yeah.
focused on, because you're so focused on Simon's stuff that you
Yeah.
keep forgetting about the fact that Trevor's like
Ready
a known
for another
terrorist.
lesson.
Yes, and then when he
The
put
the
when,
Chamoy house, the Chamoy house.
oh
when,
my gosh, that was
when
great.
the kid
Yeah.
says, "Ready for another lesson," and he just when Trevor looks at him like that, we pause it and we're laughing for like a minute or two straight. It was hilarious. The
Man,
face
yeah,
that
that
Trevor
that
makes.
whole scene was really good.
We've aligned with we've aligned with the wrong person, Simon. I can tell.
Um, yeah, man.
That
And then
that one was
also like
hilarious.
the way that he, okay, it bugged me when I was watching it. Like immediately when he did, like he's like, I know how to fix this. Don't worry, it's on me. I got this or whatever. And
It
then
was
he does
awesome.
He does. It was awesome. But the whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, there's no way he did this by himself. Like,
Yeah.
like there's
He had a
like
whole
when it was
production
just
team with
him
Aldrich.
recording stuff. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
he can do that. He could probably do his own makeup and all that stuff or whatever. But like, they start having like footage,
And
and
he's
like
overtaking all the satellites.
it's
you
like
know,
overlays and stuff. And like,
yeah.
I'm like, he didn't do all. I'm like, that's, I don't know. For me, it was a little bit of a big suspension of disbelief there. But anyway, okay, so yeah, I liked it. It's like I said, like I don't know, maybe it's a 7 for me. I don't know. It's just, like my problem is that like it's like a whole like ball of a lot of good stuff, but I don't know what it is. It's just a ball of good stuff.
See, I
'Cause
would
to
put
me, it
because
doesn't have-
I think for something to be in the 6 range, it has to be like Moon Knight or Winter Soldier, Falcon and Winter Soldier. I mean, I feel like this is a step above both those.
I feel like everything inside of it, quality wise, I think it is. I think I agree. I just don't like both of those things. You know what they are. Like you can look at them and be like, "There's a
Yeah.
complete package there." This does not feel like it's a complete. Like I don't. And this could be just be me being stupid. I don't know. But because I'm stupid,
I
I'm
guess-
not gonna. I'm not gonna unless like someone could change my mind. I'm definitely open to have my mind changed on this, and it just could be something I'm missing. Like right now, I'll talk about it a little bit, but like we talked about Lord of the Rings, right? I just finished the second book like 2 nights ago, and I watched the second movie last night. And so, and like the way that I'm appreciating them and like thinking about them more now or whatever, like it's changing a lot of my perceptions about Lord of the Rings or whatever. And so my stuff is changing, and like I'm having friends that are big fans that are like talking me through stuff and whatnot. And but like, so I get that, and this could be like that. But the thing is, like, you shouldn't need that in my opinion. But also, I don't know how much of that is just me being stupid. So like, I don't
think-
know. Like
I
me
think
with
also-
my super personal, very subjective thing, I think I'll have to stick with the 6.5 until someone explains to me what this is, and I'm like, oh, you know what? You're right. I'm wrong. Here's
I think maybe what it is like, what's a show that we got? We haven't gotten that many shows. Well, a lot of the Marvel shows, they don't have multiple seasons. I don't see a future with Simon and Trevor, to me I just see like when I see the ending, I'm like, okay, that's it. I mean, maybe there's gonna be something else, but like I'm not trying to say like where does this go. Me, I'm kind of like, all right, that's like a like I said, like a comic book you pick up at the store. It's a single issue special edition of something, and there's no more, and you read it, and you're like, okay, that was like a cool like Christmas comic, and you put it down,
If it
and
ended
that's
like
it.
this, though, would you be happy with that? Because those kind of comics always bug me because I'm like, like single issue
Like, what was the
comics,
point of
even
it?
single issue. I'm like, yeah, what's the point of it? Like, what's the overarching? What's the actual story? You don't have a whole story
But I'm
here. This
not,
is like a
but I'm
snippet.
not mad at it. It's not one that I'm
I am
like
kind
I'm
of
not gonna
mad at
say,
it.
oh, this is the greatest thing ever, but I'm not gonna say like that's stupid. Um, and so because I first of all I wouldn't buy those. So
I mean, to
it'd
me,
just be
it's
like if I
like
read it, I'd be like, okay,
if someone handed you like a nice glass of like just the perfectly blended sweet tea, or not perfectly, but like a really good, just solid glass of sweet tea, and you're drinking it like, wow, that's really good sweet tea, and you get like a third of the way through your glass, and someone smacks it out of your hand, and you're like, that's all you get, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm glad I enjoyed
I
the
guess it's a
partial
good glass of sweet
yeah,
tea.
that was a good glass of sweet tea, I guess, but I only had a little bit of it. And
Yeah,
you're giving me like a third of a story here. Like I don't.
yeah.
There's I don't know. Like
I think
what's
the
there is
last
good. It just I don't know what it is.
I think the last two things I got on it is we talked about Damage Control guy sucks. He's been in enough Marvel projects. Can we just get rid of this guy? I don't care.
Was he
Um,
in No Way Home?
yeah, he was in No Way
Okay.
Home.
Yeah. That's okay.
He was in other stuff too.
Yeah, I forget, but yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I'm done with him. There's nothing compelling about this guy.
He's just meant to be
I'm done
like
with
a sleaze bag.
he. Yes, he's just a sleaze bag. I don't like the fact that we're like we gotta put people in this prison we built, so we have to just go start arresting people. I'm like,
Yeah,
this
the
is stupid.
reasoning behind that was bad. It's
I'm
like
like,
what has Simon
that's
actually
this is
done that deserves him of being put away?
nothing.
He just got power, so
Yeah.
we want to like entrap him in. We want to make
Which
him.
doesn't make
Yeah,
any
it's
sense
really
because you'd want
stupid.
to weaponize that
Yeah.
if you're the government. But then on top of that, back to Simon with his powers. It to me, it's kind of messed up that he's spending his whole life hiding his powers when like my favorite superhero, the one on your t-shirt, is with great power comes great responsibility. And guess what? He saves no one in this show.
It's not a
Like
superhero show.
he's not a superhero. He's not a superhero.
No.
He's not even a hero.
Yeah.
Like the fact that you have these
Well,
these
he
powers
saves
and you
Trevor.
just wish you didn't. No, whatever. He doesn't save him. He put him there.
True.
um,
He saved him
he,
after,
he,
like, if Spider-Man
he
pushed a kid in
doesn't.
front of a bus to save another kid, and then save the kid he pushed in front of a bus, I'd still give him the points for saving the
I
kid.
guess. I guess. I'm just like I'm watching this. I'm like I can't relate. Like there's no part of him. Like I wish you could show a balance of a guy who's trying to be an actor but also be a superhero. But we're not getting that. We're just like I wish I didn't have powers because I just want to be an actor. And I'm like you suck, dude. I don't like you. But
I mean,
again, as you said, the
I
actor
do
put on a
like the
great
idea.
performance.
This hit me while I was watching it. Was like I do like the idea that like in the MCU or in a world with superheroes or whatever, we assume that like, oh, you've got powers, cool, you can go be a superhero or a villain or something. You can do like there are people out there. And I think we'll see this in the future with the X-Men or whatever. But there are people out there who are like, I just want to be a normal person. I don't want these,
I have
and I like that aspect. And that's what this is. I think that excels at that aspect.
So the podcast we listened to when they talked about this show because they saw the first 3 episodes when they talked about it.
Yeah, and the rest of it was on the
One of them
Patreon.
said,
Screw that.
yeah, one of them said on that show that they made a character decision, like a character choice for Wonder Man, and like, how do you feel about that? And I'm like, what are they talking about? And when I watched the show, I'm like, I still have no idea what they're talking about. Is it because maybe they're talking about he's a mutant? We're
I
not
have
sure
no
if he was
idea.
born with it
I
or
have no idea.
yeah, I don't know. He might be a mutant, so maybe that's an introduction of X-Men of some sort. I don't know, but yeah,
Anyway, we've been talking about Wonder Man for a while, so yeah,
yeah,
we're just gonna
that's Wonder Man.
knock out a
I'd,
few
I'd
things pretty
say
quick.
I'd say it's about the same as like usual MCU shows, but it's solid.
But it's
a
very
fun
different,
time.
because it's not a superhero show. Whatever it is, it's good. I just don't. Maybe it's a 7. I don't know because it's good. I just don't know what it is. because
Yeah,
it's like
I
it
agree.
doesn't just stay. I think I would have been more okay with it if it just didn't, if it just, or if it just left open ended and like maybe we'll do a season 2 or whatever, like, or like it feels like they didn't know how to write. They like the damage control guy and like that whole aspect with Trevor. That's like the looming threat or whatever, and then they didn't know how to like write themselves out of that. So they
Yeah.
just kind of get all messy with the finale or whatever, and kind of superhero-y, but not really. When you could have just
This is what I'm talking about, or they put themselves into a corner
yeah
and they don't know what to do. Well, I like the fact that Trevor took the fall as the Mandarin. I think that's
yeah
cool.
yeah I like
I
that.
think that's a
Again, it's
awesome
Trevor
twist.
carrying the show.
Yes. Ben
You
Kingsley,
know what?
great performance.
If they man, the problem is though, because Wonder Man in the comic, I don't know anything about this character. I'm talking out my butt. I've just like
I don't know
barely,
either.
barely, barely looked into any of this or whatever. I don't know if there's a movie for Wonder Man in the comics because, from what I understand, could be way wrong. Just from the brief stuff I tried to look up about this character, Wonder Man, he's this guy and he has the alter ego that's the actor, but he's also a superhero called Wonder Man. And I'm like, you also like really wrote yourself into a corner because like if he goes out as Wonder Man, it's like, oh look, there's that
Yeah.
guy.
Wonder Man.
Whereas like I don't know, it's just a weird, like it's like you're not
It's like you
making the
said, where can
character.
you go with this?
It's like what if Spider Man wasn't like what if he was an actor and he made a movie called Spider Man, but then also like he does have all these powers and he can't go
Yeah.
around and be Spider Man because there's already a Spider Man movie and everyone's like, oh yeah, it's that guy. Yeah, like well, I don't know. Anyway, okay. All that to say, like I did like it. I enjoyed it a lot. I was actually pretty high on it after finishing it, um, but I was a little disappointed in the finale. Like I wasn't like frustrated in the time in the moment. I was just like, kind of
I think I
disappointed.
had I think I had a really low bar, especially after the first two episodes. I'm like, okay, it's gonna be another one. Doorman pulled me back in. I was like, okay.
I really liked the first like 3 episodes when it was about like just the acting stuff. I was really into that.
I didn't care
But
much
I don't
for
know,
it.
like I really looked in, like I used to want to be an actor, like I used to read books about it or whatever, like it,
Yeah.
so, like that aspect really did like kind of
That connects more
connect
with
with me.
you.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Anyway, we got a couple here that we can move on and bang through real quick. We like you said, we hung out a little bit for like a day over the past week. Um, I got you to watch one movie that I watched last year, so I had already like talked about it, but get your opinion on that. It's gonna be Novocaine. Yeah, what do you want to
Let me
give
tell
it
you
a
about
score about Novocaine?
let me tell you about Novocaine. Novocaine, I believe cinema was invented for Novocaine to be made. I believe. I
Uh,
think I think Christopher Nolan might retire after the Odyssey because he knows none of his movies will compare to Novocaine.
I think it just sounded like our brother had a heart attack in the other room. Hang on.
I know. Yo, you should watch Novocaine. It's definitely better than Carry On. I'll say that. No, Novocaine. I'll say this. So, have you seen Violent Night? It's
No,
the
no,
Sandman.
but I want
Okay,
to. Yeah.
it's a fun time. It's a fun movie. What
That's
about
the exact.
Nobody with
No,
Bob Odenkirk? No.
no.
Okay.
I need to see
Anyway, it's
these.
like it's like
It's like
B-list
those.
action movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, yeah. I don't know what else to compare it to because those are like my go-tos. Um, it's basically what like I guess John Wick was supposed to be, but John Wick became a cult classic and was great. But like it was supposed to be like just that random action movie that came out that you watch and you're like, oh, okay, that was a fun time. Novocaine basically is that. You know, some bad acting from the side characters, but it's you're really there just for like the cool fight scenes
Yeah.
and the main actor that you know. And guess what? The main actor that you know and the fight scenes are all cool.
Really good.
That stuff delivers, and if that's what you're there for, you're gonna have a good time because it's great.
Mm-hmm.
But then at the end, at the conclusion of it all, where it's supposed to wrap up, and that's supposed to be your
Mm.
B list action movie that you're like, oh, you know what, that was a sloppy movie, but it was a good time. Um, it overstays its welcome. It it tries to do a twist that I don't appreciate and extend the movie. And I'm trying to think of like what movie did this in like weird disproportional ways where like they kept suspending belief for no reason. I don't know why I keep thinking of like uh what is that? The Meg, but it's not the Meg. I feel like there's another movie, like a Jason Statham movie or some other kind of movie where it's just like certain things happening. You're like, okay, come on, stop it. And so it just continues. It overstays its welcome.
The Meg 2
I
does
think
that.
if it had stopped when it should have stopped, and if you watch the movie, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. If it give it if it stopped where it felt like it was gonna stop, I think it'd be like a 7 out of 10. You know, like it was bad. It was pretty good. Maybe 7.5. I think with how it went, I give it like a
I think
6.5.
that's kind of crazy. I do disagree with you on this. That's actually a gripe I have with a lot of movies over the past, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. I think they do kind of like movies and games also. I'm like, it should end here and it doesn't, and it just kind of keeps going a little too far.
Yeah.
It's a big thing for me with games, honestly. I'm finding, but movies as well. I did not feel that with this movie. I know exactly what you're talking about. You were talking about it while it was happening. Um,
Yeah.
I don't agree. I'm fine with the pacing of this or whatever. I agree with you that this is like a, it's a B movie or whatever. Like it's fine. I think it's good. I give it like a 7.5. But it's like, I don't know. It's nothing like crazy. It's just a fun time. But I think
Yeah.
that
It's nothing crazy.
I think that like it wraps where it should. I think
I'd say it's in the realm of Carry On. If you watch that, the Netflix movie, like that kind of, I
overstays
would
its
say it's more
welcome.
memorable because it's got the cool fight scenes.
Yeah, the cool fight scenes.
But besides that, I mean,
Your wife the whole time was just like, man,
she loved
those
it.
kills were
These are
awesome.
the coolest.
These are the
Yeah,
coolest kills.
the kills
They get
are
really
awesome.
creative with some of those kills.
Yeah,
All right.
I agree.
So yeah, okay, you're lower on that than I would have liked, but still, you enjoyed it.
I'll
It's
give
really
it a
just the end.
6.5.
Okay.
I'll give it a 6.5 because it's a fun time.
Interesting. All right. Okay. And
What's the
then
one we watched before that?
yeah, you walked in when I was about like halfway through. I was watching Zoom with Tim Allen. I don't know.
Academy for Superheroes.
Yeah, Zoom Academy for
Zoom.
Superheroes from
That's
2006.
Tim Allen. I don't know the other people's
Tim Allen,
names.
Chevy Chase, Courtney Cox. It's got Kate Mara in
Oh,
it.
Jerry Chase.
Kevin Zegers.
I don't know.
Anyway,
This movie's peak.
no, Michael
This
Cassidy.
movie's
That's who
peak.
I'm looking at. Who is? Oh, that's Connor. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Michael Cassidy is Dylan. Yeah, this movie is a fun time. I have another one on this
It's
list that I watched this week that I think is very, very similar. I think it's better than Zoom as a movie, honestly.
Holes.
What? No, Holes is fantastic.
Holes.
Um,
Holes good. Holes good. Holes
um,
good. I was trying to think of
but
vibes.
I
What's a
love
Zoom
it.
vibe?
It has kind of Zoom vibe. I feel like it's in like the same kind of era, but I think it's a
Okay.
little bit more artful, I guess. But I'll talk about that in a minute. Because I watched a lot. Like I said, I watched a lot of movies this week. But yeah, just real quick, Zoom. We both like it.
Zoom.
It's a fun movie.
It's a good movie.
It also has
It's
stupid
really
product
good.
placement. Speaking of like the Power Rangers thing, the Wendy's product placement's kind of stupid in this, but
I
but
don't
who cares?
care.
Yeah,
It's got
it's
some jokes made in it that you're like, this would not be in a Disney movie today.
it's not Disney. But
Um, It's Disney? I thought it was like a
no,
Disney
it's not.
original, wasn't it?
No, it's not Disney.
Oh, well, never mind. I don't know who would made it.
is Sony, Columbia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they would not be in a movie like that today.
Yeah,
So the
it's
jokes, some of the jokes, though.
but it's a fun time.
But
It's
it's
a
great.
really, it is a good like original superhero movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we were saying
for
we
for
want,
like
we
families,
would
it's
have
like a
loved,
good family friendly. Yeah, I would have loved
yeah,
more.
but we were
like
saying we would have loved more lore, like more
yeah, the stuff
projects about the
they
bases.
drop like a backstory at the beginning with like a comic book type of thing, and like that team that they talk about at the beginning, like the previous superhero team, like give us like a movie about that spin-off or something, like a prequel.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's good. It's a classic. I love that movie. It is an all-time classic.
Very
for me.
underrated in the superhero space.
It has a 5% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's got a 5%.
5%.
They've got no idea what they're watching. They're dumb.
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes is awful.
All right. Let me see here. So that's Zoom. What would you give Zoom? Just add up for fun, out of 10.
You know what?
I think I'd give it. Oh man, do I want to be serious or do I
I'm
want to
gonna-
play with my heart a little bit?
So if I'm playing with my heart, I give it an 8.
Oh really? I was
Play
gonna say
with my heart, I give
7.
it an 8.
Because I'm like,
Oh, it's definitely a 7. It's definitely a
it's
7.
good. It's good. Yeah, it's a 7. I'm not. Yeah, I'll just say it's a 7. I'll give it a
You know,
7.
I'll say 7.5. I will try to be objective. 7.5.
But it's like for what it is. Like it's a family movie. I'm not even gonna say like a kids movie. It's kind of a kids movie, but it's like you can watch it at probably any age, preferably with, like your family or whatever.
There's definitely scenes that I thought were so cool
It's meant
as a
for a
kid
younger audience. Yeah, they just
when
don't
I
hold up
watch
as
now,
well.
I'm
Yeah.
like we were talking about, I'm like, dang, Tim Allen is actually a little heavy in this.
Yeah, he looks a little
I remember
chunky.
him being kind of buff in the suit, and then you're like, I'm pretty sure it's a body double. And
Yeah,
I'm watching, I'm like, yeah, you really can't see him with his helmet off in the suit, really.
yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
that's cool.
Um. All right. I did have here on my notes. So I've got a few more movies I want to talk about. But also, I don't know if you want to take a break from movies real quick and talk about, or do you want to wrap up with the trailers and stuff like that, like talking about that at the
We
end.
can wrap up with the trailers at the
Okay.
end.
All right. So I'm gonna
I don't
skip
have
that
a
one.
ton to say about them.
I did want to add because I have it right here. I don't want to ask about the trailer or whatever, but we did hear. I think we got a release date and a trailer for Spider-Man Noir. I did want to ask you something about that before I forget. You're gonna
Okay.
watch that, right?
Yeah.
I assume. Okay. Are you gonna watch it in black and white, or are you gonna watch it in color? Because they're releasing it in
Oh, good
both. I think
question.
that's a good question.
I don't. That is a good question.
I like. I think I'm gonna watch it in color, personally, but like I feel like it. I feel like
I
it's like
don't
kind of
know.
meant to be in black and white, but like man,
I might watch it in color. Maybe I'll start at in one of them, and depending on how I feel, I might go back to the other.
I
Like
think I'll watch
I
it
might
in
start in black
color.
and
And
white.
maybe I'll watch it in black and white if I watch it again or something. Maybe something like that.
I feel like you got to go in for the experience. Do it black and white. I don't know. That's just me.
Okay. All right. Back on to movies. I'm gonna try and do a triple feature here because I watched all three of these this week. I binged them. I had like a little marathon. Um, the Star Trek trilogy, the modern Star Trek trilogy.
Oh,
Did you know there was another one of those supposed to come out next year, but it just got canceled like within the past like 6 months or something like that, like a fourth one.
really?
Yeah, which is really sad to me because
That is
rewatching
sad.
like we talked about them recently, and I said like I really like those movies or whatever. Rewatched
I
them.
really like them too.
I love these movies. The first
They're so
two,
awesome.
the first two are so good. The third one is like a step down, but it's still really
Yeah.
good. I
Yeah.
would give the first like one probably like an 8. Yeah, I think I'd give the first one an 8. The second one, Into Darkness, probably give an 8.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. I don't think I can
Dude,
give it a 9. But like
Cumberbatch in that
as
movie.
Khan is so good. He's so good,
The one
and
line
also
when he's in the cell, you know what I'm talking about? When he's like, the ones you hold most dear, and like the face he makes,
yeah, yeah.
I'm like, I'm like, oh, this guy's
Yeah, man.
peak.
Like it makes me so upset with myself that I'm not a Star Trek fan. Because like
I know
I
I'm
never
fine with it.
I never watched the original stuff. I tried like a little bit here and there, but I could never get into it. Where I always preferred Star Wars. Um maybe now that I'm older I can appreciate it more. I don't know. Maybe I might try it. Now that I'm thinking about it. But like there's so much in there that like is supposed to be like
Pays tribute.
references. Yeah. And
Yeah,
like, cause he's Khan, and Khan's like this big. We hear about Wrath of Khan. It's like supposedly one of the greatest Star Trek like movies of all time. Because you had like the
yeah,
shows and you also had the movies, and I'm like, I don't know where to start. I don't know. I don't know. I could never get into it.
yeah.
But like, I even as someone who didn't watch it, I don't pick up all the references, obviously, and Easter eggs, but there's still ones that like they kind of make obvious, or whatever. And like there's certain things like I remember like years ago, like the last time I watched these movies, like looking into a lot of the references, so I knew of a lot of them as they were coming up. Like, in Into Darkness, Spock is like trying to figure out how to beat. Like he's the one who like beats and outsmarts Khan with the torpedoes and swapping them and all that jazz or whatever. But then like while he's doing that, Kirk is like climbing into the reactor and like fixing it, and so Kirk gets like radiation
Yeah.
poison and dies. I think that's like switched in the original. So like Spock goes in there and dies actually in the original.
Oh.
So
Well,
like that's like a
Spock's
cool
alive.
what?
Oh, Kirk, you're talking about Kirk then does the thing where he gets Khan to bring Spock alive, because that Spock is who he talks to.
No. Like I don't know how they beat Khan in the original. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like there's something similar. Like in Wrath of Khan, Spock dies, sacrificing himself, saving the
Okay.
crew, or whatever. This in the same way or similar way, apparently that Kirk dies in Into Darkness because he climbs into the reactor and gets all radiation by kicking the thing or whatever and aligning it so they get power again and they're able to like catch themselves in the air as they're falling to Earth. That and then James like is like he's in the airlock, but he doesn't have time to get out basically, so he dies like in the
Yeah.
airlock. And Spock sees him, or and, like they say goodbye. Like I'm pretty sure like there's like a scene
His
like that. It's
scream
switched.
is awesome.
Yes, yeah.
His
He
scream
screams
is
Khan or whatever. Like
awesome.
man, like. But see, the thing for me, when I was talking about how I'm disappointed or whatever in myself that I was never into it, because I feel like the first time watching that movie, if I was a Star Trek fan or whatever, and Cumberbatch like reveals he's like, no, I am Khan. Like I feel like that would have been like goosebumps. Even not being a fan, like gives me goosebumps because I'm like I know who Khan is, but like man, if
Yeah.
that was that, if this was, if I had like the relationship with the series already, or whatever. There's just a
I
lot of
don't
cool
think
stuff.
so though.
Maybe
I think if you watch it, because as we said, Star Trek fans hate the new
a lot
movies.
of them do.
You watch it and you'd be like, that is not what Khan looks like. Because if you've seen what the original
Maybe.
Khan looks like, he looks a little wacky.
Well, he's like I mean, he still looks like a guy. He's not like an alien looking dude. I don't think.
Yeah, he's like weird looking.
But I don't know. Like I agree. I've always heard that like Star Trek people, most fans hate this or whatever. But like a lot of times when I'm rewatching, especially like something, a lot of times now when I'm like watching a movie after I get done with it or whatever, I'll go on like Reddit and I'll see what people talk about for it, especially if it's an older movie, and I want to see like what people also have been thinking about it who watch it like lately. I saw some people reminiscing about it and talking about it, and a lot of people were actually talking highly of it on like the Star Trek Reddits or whatever. They're talking about at least the first movie. One guy was saying that like his dad was like a big Star Trek fan when it came out. He had watched all the original series and stuff. Like, it was like his favorite thing. He took him to see it, and like his dad was like this really hard, gruff, like working dude or whatever. But like I guess he grew up as a kid watching like the original series Star Trek,
Yeah.
and his gruff dad took him to see this movie in theaters, and this kid was like 8 at the time. He's like, that's the first and only time I've ever seen my dad cry was when he was watching that movie because he just loved it so much. And I'm like, that's awesome to me. I'm like, I'm happy that there are, because like you said, I've always been under the impression that Star Trek fans hate these movies, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
Because
Well, each
I
one
get
I've
why
talked to
kind
about
of
them.
that also hates them.
Yeah, well, like
Yeah.
I'll talk to somebody and they're like, "Yeah, I'm big into Star Trek." I'm like, "Oh, what do you think about the new? I love those newer movies." And they're like, "If you watch the original, you don't like those movies, but they're good movies. They're just not good Star Trek movies."
To
That's what
me,
people always tell me.
sure, and that's fair. I said the same thing about Nolan's Batman movies, but
Yeah.
uh, I I've said this for years, and after rewatching it, I do need to finish rewatching Star Wars. They're just hard, but I've said for years, like these 3 movies are better than any 3 Star Wars movies, in my opinion. You're gonna say A New Hope,
I don't think I
but
don't think that yeah, I think A New Hope is it's weird also because like I feel like it's tougher for older movies to hold up against that. But like I think A New Hope, I like Phantom Menace a lot, and I like Revenge of the Sith.
I like Revenge of the
Those
Sith a lot.
three are probably my top three, and then it's Empire and The Last Jedi fighting it out for that last spot. And I know that's blasphemy, but I think
Wait,
Phantom Menace is
would you
fun.
say is the last spot?
No, I'm saying like my first spot is A New Hope.
Uh huh.
Then you have like it's honestly I think Menace is my second
I
favorite.
thought I
I
liked it a
love
lot more
Phantom.
until the most recent time I rewatched it, and I was like, wow, this movie does really
I think it's great.
not
And then
hold up.
Revenge of the Sith, and then I'd probably have either Last Jedi or Empire Strikes Back for that fourth spot, and
Uh,
the other one we get the fifth.
I like
But
Last
that's
Jedi. I
blasphemy, I
don't like
know.
Empire. But Empire is probably my second least favorite Star Wars movie. I need to rewatch
That's cool.
Jedi because, or Return of the Jedi because that could be lower. I don't know. But I rewatched New Hope and Empire recently because I'm like, you know what? I'm older. Maybe it'll click. Doesn't click. I
I
I
so
really
I
dislike
think
Empire.
So I think if I had the boldness and courage that you do, I might agree with you.
Okay,
But I
I
don't I
just
don't think I don't
I
think I don't think Beyond is that good. I think Beyond's okay. And I
wait.
don't think two movies is
Oh,
enough
you
to
mean
put
you
it
would
over the
agree that
entirety.
the Star Trek are better than any three Star Wars movies? Is what you're saying? That's what you were
Oh,
agreeing with?
any three?
Like, okay, are
Any three trilogy?
what are you agreeing?
Like
I'm hang on, I'm confused because I was in the middle of saying that I think Empire is bad, and then you said, and then you weren't agreeing with
no,
that. You
I
were
was
agreeing
talking
with the
about
Star
your
Trek
your
thing
Star
originally.
Trek take.
Okay, okay,
Your
just
Star
making sure.
Trek take is what I'm saying. Like I see, because I love the first one and I love the second one.
I
I
think
really do.
Beyond is a good movie. I think it's still like a 7.5, but the other two I think
It was
are like peak.
yeah.
I think Into Darkness is like I think it's fan. It's probably a 9 for me. Like I loved
It's so
Into.
good.
Um,
It's so good.
for me, something about I really like the first one. I like everything about it. I just don't really care much for like the villains. It's like the
I
Romulans or
think the
whatever.
first villain's pretty good.
They're fine. Don't get me wrong. They're fine. They're
It's
better.
obviously not Khan,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's
But I'm
it's
like,
still
man,
not bad.
and Benedict Cumber. This is like when Benedict Cumberbatch was like really hitting it. He was like in his bag for like every role he was doing. He was like
Smog,
doing
I think, was
Smaug.
around
Yeah,
this time
yeah,
too.
exactly. He's
Yeah.
just hitting everything. Um,
Yeah.
this was like peak Benedict Cumberbatch like hype train level, and like he was getting like and he was like putting it in any role he
And you
got.
know what I love about it too is I feel like this one, the reason why I think Into Darkness, like it hits so well, like it's so many things, but another thing that I love about it is Spock, who is the calm, calculated guy. He loses his friend and he snaps and he turns into a physical, like, altercate. He's going to fight Khan, is what he's going to do. And I'm like, I love it. And he kind of gets his butt beat by Khan, but it's still,
But he
I love it.
holds
I'm
his
like, the
own a
guy
little bit,
who,
you know.
he does.
Yeah,
He
he
does. And
does.
I love that. It's
Yeah, man.
awesome.
Spock is so great in these movies, man.
He's so
He's
good.
so good.
Zachary Quinto,
Yes. Have you
amazing.
ever seen him in anything else?
I know you're talking about Heroes.
That's
I
the first
didn't.
thing I
I
saw him in. Like that show's crazy. That was the hardest. Like I've only seen the first season. Apparently it falls off after that. But I
Yeah.
watched that first.
I hear
That
the first season is one of the best in television history.
apparently it is, and I enjoyed it. But like that show was so weird. Like I was like a kid when I watched it, and I had no idea what was going on because it bounces all over the place. It's crazy, but it's
Yeah.
cool. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I like him. He's so perfect for it was
Spock.
perfect casting for Spock. I love the way they do the timeline stuff because I'm like it doesn't touch. It
It's
doesn't
so
touch the
yeah.
originals. The originals are there. That it happened. You know,
Yep.
it's good. It doesn't want to mess with that. It's just doing its own thing, and it has that. It's just like it just for me. It feels like it's just paying homage to it the whole time. Like, and you've
Yeah.
got like they just hold Spock like OG Spock and it's just like high reference or whatever. They're, like every
The
little bit they
whole
give him,
cast is perfect.
they are, man.
Carl
Dude, I keep
Urban,
seeing Carl. Is it Urbane or Urban, whatever his name is? I keep
whatever.
seeing
I
him in
whatever.
stuff lately, and I'm like, holy crap! Like I forgot he was in those. He's so
Lord of
good
the
in those.
Rings.
He's in Lord of the Rings. I'm like, look, he's a
Yeah.
baby. He's a baby.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, man. Yeah,
Oi, Yui.
Yui. Yeah. So I don't know. I love those movies. That was a tried to cram all three of those into that, but yeah. I love those movies. I
Simon
rewatched all of them.
Pegg.
Simon Pegg's in there. The Chekhov guy.
Who's the Asian guy?
I forget his
Chekhov.
name.
He's great.
That dude.
The Asian
No,
guy's also.
was it him? Oh, what's
I
was
think
it?
the Asian guy was up for Mr. Fantastic when they were doing castings. I like him. Captain Solo?
Sulu.
Is that
I
his
think.
name? Sulu. But Chekhov is great, but the Chekhov guy actor I think passed away, which was
Yeah, he
sad.
did. He passed away like while the movie was coming, like right before the movie came out for Beyond.
Yeah.
I guess they got everything done with him or whatever. But man, yeah,
Zoe
that's still.
Saldana.
Yes. Oh my gosh, she's in that. Like the cast is so stacked, and then the
It's
villains
perfect.
also. I actually don't know. I'm probably stupid, but I don't know who plays the villain in the first one. But obviously, Khan is Cumberbatch, and then Idris Elba is the villain in Beyond. And I'm like, that's freaking, it's crazy. I want to make sure was he ghosted?
I feel like Beyond feels more like an episode of the original Star Trek. Like it feels like an episode extended into a movie.
It could be. Man. Selfie, that's it. Okay. So there was a when these movies were coming out, um I think he was in something else that I don't remember. There was a show with I think it's the girl who plays Nebula. What is her name? I'm blanking right now.
Oh, I know.
Karen
Yeah, I know
Gillan.
who you're talking about.
Um,
Yeah.
there was a like a not a rom com. It was uh like a comedy sitcom ish type thing with her and Sulu guy. Um, it was like a one. I don't even think I think it made like half a season before they canceled it or whatever. But we were watching. It was one of those shows that like came out while I was in college, and my roommate
Hmm.
got me into a lot of these random shows. He got me into Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23 and all that. This is around the same time this came out, and man, we were so upset when that show got canceled because that was a fun show. He was great in that. The Sulu guy. She was great. It was such a charming little show, and it only had like 13 or 14 episodes. But it was good. So yeah, I'm a Star Trek new trilogy defender hardcore. I love it. Rewatched them.
It's good.
It's not even just like kid nostalgia. Like because I wasn't a kid when they came out. I was like a teenager, but like
Yeah.
man, I like them a lot. Uh, did you watch anything else this week, or am I just like rambling? Am I just not?
I watched two other movies and they're both animated, so I don't have a ton to say about them. I don't know if you want me to just knock them out.
You can if you want. I've got 1, 2, 3. I have 3 more movies.
Okay, I'll do these real quick because it should be quick. My wife wanted me to watch Spirit, which is the
Oh,
horse
okay.
movie. So I watched that. She's just like, this is a 9. I was like, it's good. I think I gave it like a 7.5 or an 8 out of 10. I'm like, it's a good movie. It's nothing crazy. Whoever did the animation for it was, I think they have a thing for horses. It's crazy, like all how they do the hair and all. They definitely have a thing for horses. I think definitely a horse
Oh yeah, it's
person.
the hottest. Yeah, it's like the hottest horse in TV or whatever.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay. Uh, but I'd say one of the things that I don't love about it is
Matt Damon is
really,
Spirit.
yeah, he's
I
Spirit.
didn't know Spirit talked. I saw this like once when it came
He
out.
barely talks. Like it's just an inner monologue at the beginning and little gaps in the movie, but like most of the time it's just, so um
Hmm.
I think the biggest thing for me in this movie is really the whole movie you're just learning how awesome Spirit is, but there's no like growth. Like there's no like, oh, he's dealing with
Development.
this early on and by the end of the movie he overcomes that. Like it's just the whole movie he's the same, and that's cool. But yeah, so it's a good movie. I finally saw it. I don't know why. I grew up where I was just like, oh, we can't watch it, because the name Spirit sounded weird
Oh, is that why it was?
to
Because
our
I watched
parents.
it when it first came out.
I
Like,
never saw it. I
yeah.
wanted to, so I watched it and I'm like, okay, I
I
mean, I
remember I
wasn't
remember
really
being a
missing.
dumb kid and still being like disappointed. That's like one of the few movies I remember growing up that like actually disappointed me as a child because I'd watch anything.
That's crazy. Uh And then so that was a DreamWorks movie. I think it's DreamWorks
It
that she
is, yeah.
showed me. So I was like, "Oh, let's watch Surf's Up." We didn't watch Surf's Up. She wants to save that for the summer. Um,
I
which
almost
I'm
I
like, it's
almost
got
I
snow
almost
in
watched
it.
Surfs Up this week.
I love Surf's Up.
It's so
So
good. That's in my top 10
instead,
movies of all time.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
That's
I love
crazy.
it. Used to be my favorite for a
Um,
while. It was in my top
Cody's
10.
Me, bro.
Yeah.
Um,
What are you
Over
doing?
the Hedge is what we
Oh, you watched
watched.
Over the Head? We just watched that recently. I talked about that a few weeks ago, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, you did. You're like, it doesn't, the graphics and everything, it kind of doesn't really hold up. And I'm like, okay, so I watch it. It's still a good movie.
No, yeah,
It's
it's
still a good
good. It's still
movie.
good.
It's
I'm just
great.
like
You know what?
yeah.
You know what the most underrated part of this movie for me is? Because the reason why I wanted to watch it is I think I was working out at the gym, listening to music, and somehow one of the songs from the
The
soundtrack
soundtrack for
pops
that
up.
movie is great.
That soundtrack is so good. I'm like, oh wait, I remember this song,
Hmm.
and
There's
it
like
made
2
me
or
just be
3
like,
absolute bangers.
yeah. I'm
Also,
like, okay, we gotta watch this.
also, deep cut. there's a this is back when they made like video game tie-ins for this.
Video
The
game for it.
video
Love the
game
video
for
game.
Over the Hedge was great. Our cousin
Yeah,
had it.
it's fun.
I don't think we had it, but I think we maybe
We did.
borrowed it from. Oh, we did. Okay.
Yeah,
So
we
yeah,
might
I
borrowed
remember
it. I don't
playing
know.
it. There was also like a music player in there, or whatever. There was like it had its own soundtrack that like had
Yeah,
different songs in it from the movie, and they had one called "Rock in the Suburbs" that I remember used to play a lot.
that's from a
"Rock in the
movie.
Suburbs"
Yeah,
is that in the movie?
yeah.
"Rock in the Suburbs" is okay.
Rock
I
in the
don't. Yeah, I don't
suburbs.
remember that being in the movie. Okay, I'm just yeah. I thought that was from the only from
But
the video game, but that makes sense. But yeah,
yeah,
that movie's great. I just
it's
like my only complaint, or not complaint, but my only like note on it, I feel like was just the animation does look. I mean, but it's like watching like Toy Story 1. It's better than Toy Story 1, but like Toy Story 1, you go back and rewatch it. The animation, it's charming because of what it was, but like you compare
yeah,
it to like Toy Story 3 or 4, and it's like okay, it's definitely not as good, but it's I mean
yeah.
it's still like to be like even Toy Story 1 is still like almost has like that Jurassic Park feel. Like how did they do this type of thing?
Yeah,
Like it's still amazing
I
for what it
agree.
is.
Yeah.
Um,
So I give Over the Hedge like an 8.5 maybe out of 10, something
oh,
like that.
point 0.5.
So it's such a good movie. And you know what? As well with this, like usually for certain characters, you can just like you can hear the actor.
Mhm.
Like you're like, oh, okay, like that's Thomas Hayden Church or that's Steve Carell. Um, I don't hear Bruce Willis when I listen to RJ, to be honest.
Yeah, no, that
Like
one. Yeah, the
it's
other ones
not
I do.
noticeable.
Now that I know
Yeah.
who those people are, I recognize them. I'm like, oh well, yeah, that's yeah. But like, yeah, I was like, that's Bruce Willis. Holy crap, that's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember thinking that exact same thing like a month or two ago when we watched it. Yeah. All right.
So that's the only two movies I watched.
Okay.
That's all I got as far as like reviews, movie wise.
Okay.
So if you want to go ahead,
Real quick, speaking of animated movies, did you hear that Looney Tunes: The Day the Earth Stood Still? Have you heard of that or something
I
like that?
have heard of it. I didn't watch it.
I,
Did
I
you?
haven't either, not yet, but it was on sale on like Fandango, so I grabbed
I
it.
wanted to watch it. I heard it's good.
Because I like the Looney Tunes movies that I've seen or
Yeah.
whatever. So yeah,
Back in
I'm gonna try
action.
and watch that sometime soon, probably. Okay, I got three more here. Um, we might fight about this. I think we've already fought about it a lot, but I just got to bring it up. So my MCU movie that I decided to watch over the past week uh, was Multiverse of Madness. I watched Multiverse of Madness because I was like, you know
I don't
what?
think I need
I
to
don't think
say
I've seen it.
anything.
I don't think I've seen it since it came out in theaters. I think I saw it once or twice because I had the ticket thing where I could get in. So I was like, I remember being high on it. Everyone else hates it. You know, let me just watch it at home. You know, like whatever. Maybe I'll go lower on it. I think I am lower on it for sure. There's clearly flaws, major flaws. It's not that good, but there's a lot of really good stuff in this movie. That like
What do you give it out of 10?
I 7.5. I still give it a 7.5.
This one or Eternals?
Eternals kept popping up on my recommended. I almost watched it, but I didn't. I need to rewatch Eternals because it's been a while since I've watched it. I may have seen it once since it came out in theaters, but I saw it like 2 or 3 times in theaters. Um, I really need. If I say it, if I say one way or the other right now, it's probably going to change after I rewatch it, and I'll probably put that on the back burner to watch soonish. So I don't really want to rank it
What
against
about
that.
Multiverse of Madness or Shang-Chi?
I like Multiverse of Madness more.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Multiverse of Madness or Ragnarok? I can't believe that this is a pause. That I get
I'll
there's a
give
lot
it.
of revisionist history about Ragnarok,
I'll
but
give it to Ragnarok. I'll give it to Ragnarok.
Ragnarok is still awesome. I don't understand
Oh,
the
no,
hate
I'll give
that
it.
it's getting.
I don't hate Ragnarok. But yeah, I'll give it to Ragnarok for there. Yeah. All the Sam Raimi like horror stuff. There's like legitimately spooky stuff in here. Wanda's in her bag as far as like being scary. A lot of the Doctor Strange stuff is just straight up cool. The downside of this movie, like Like
America Chavez.
half the America Chavez stuff is a miss. The other half is hits. Like there's a lot of good stuff about her. There's a lot of bad stuff about her. So I'll agree about like all the bad scenes are bad, but like there's a lot of good stuff about her too.
Oh,
I
you're
like
talking
her
about
as a character.
the whole like
Yeah, that
scene
yeah,
where
that's stupid. Yeah, I agree, 100%. That's bad. Um, but like, and yeah, but man, the all the Doctor Strange stuff in here is really good, really strong in my opinion. I think Benedict Cumberbatch is really good.
I just I
Um,
don't want him being the side character in his own movie. I want him to be
he's
the driving
not
force.
he's not until like the very end or whatever, and which like is my problem. Like the whole final scene, especially with America Chavez, is my biggest problem with the America Chavez character because she does it. I agree. I don't like that. That she ends up saving the day, or at least the way that he just kind of like is there to do it, and then he's just like, "Nah, it's your time to shine, kid," or like because like, man, um, Zombie Strange is freaking awesome. Like that
If he had
whole,
used it, really.
I mean, he
I don't
used
I
it.
It's been a while since I watched it, so I don't
I
fully
forgot about
remember.
that. I completely forgot about that.
I
Um,
remember that he
because
didn't
like
doesn't he like also like
the first one, they're like the first one that she shows up with at the beginning, dies, and then she goes to the thing, and he wakes up and is like, "Oh, that was a dream" or whatever, and then he's like, it's the whole thing like, "Oh yeah, dreams are." To me, that opens up a whole other can of worms. That means like every MCU dream we see is actually happening somewhere. What?
yeah.
Um, but uh, but then they bury that dead Strange or whatever, and I just was like, oh, that's a weird place to bury him. It didn't even I completely forgot. It just didn't occur to me. Oh yeah, they're gonna Chekhov's gun this later. Um, but then like, and then he goes and he fights. The For me, the weakest part of the movie is, yeah, sure, it's the final standoff with Wanda after he kind of steps to the side and lets Chavez do everything. Up until then, it's pretty cool. Like seeing him with like the souls of the dead or whatever, versus Wanda. That's epic. It's when he decides to be like, no, America, you do it. That from that point on, that's like the worst part of the movie. After that, it's pretty much everything with the Illuminati. It's terrible. And I agree.
Yeah.
Like everyone, like that's disappointing. I do think that there's a little bit of like there's just over. I think part of the problem
Didn't
is
you
it was
used to
over.
think that was one of the best parts of it?
I mean,
I thought you used to love that part.
I don't think I loved it. I could be wrong, but I feel like the John Krasinski thing. Like I wanted it to be so good because I like John Krasinski and I wanted him to be Reed, but it was just disappointing. I
Hate
don't
to burst your bubble. Ah, see what I did
I
there.
don't I don't have a problem with the way that she kills Xavier because we've killed Charles like four times now, 4 or 5 times at this point.
Yeah, I
So
don't.
like I don't care. It was a cool creepy death. Um, uh, the way that she takes it, I don't
It's
know.
kind of
Like
it's kind
I
of
think
weird. I don't understand the logistics
I
of
do
it,
think it's
but
over hated, but I think that it's overhated because of all of that overhype that everyone did in anticipation. Like it could still be bad and not be as bad as everyone says it is, but I think it's bad. Is kind of my feeling on it.
yeah,
Especially the standoff with Wanda, like the Illuminati stuff when they're like Steven's on trial. I think that stuff is fine. Could be better for
yeah.
sure, but like the standoff with Wanda is just abysmal.
It's
Um,
kind of crazy. Again, like you're watching, you're like, you guys beat Thanos. Like I'm like these guys beat Thanos. But
yeah, the smartest man alive. Let's just
and it's not like it's not even like oh all the Fantastic Four and all the X-Men because the scene where it shows Doctor Strange after they beat Thanos,
Xavier's
it's
just
just
there in
them.
his wheelchair. It's like,
It's just them.
like they got dead Thanos there for this movie, but
Yeah.
they couldn't. I don't know. Yeah,
Like there's no Scott,
but
there's no
I
Sue, no
all that to be
the
like I
Human
like the
Torch.
movie. I think there's a lot. Like I think that the him versus the other Stranges and stuff, the multiverse romping Wanda as the villain. There's a lot of like because it's Sam Raimi. There's a lot of like horror um, elements thrown in or whatever. And I think those work really well for what the movie is. I think there's a lot of really good stuff in there. Um,
So I'd
uh,
have to rewatch it, but I heard somebody recently say that when you watch it, it feels like I don't know if it's screenwriter, scriptwriter, or whatever, and the director were making two different movies.
It could
And
be.
if you take parts of them out and mush them together, it the tone of one, is consistent, and the tone of the other is consistent, but like when you put them together, it's weird. And I don't know if you could tell in this watch or not. I don't remember enough to really be able to distinguish that, but I know if that was something you picked up on.
It's not. Um,
Okay.
I don't know. It's
It
just
could
not
be a
something I
completely
realized.
invalid take. I heard that
And
and I'm like, oh,
it
that's
could
kind
be
of
valid. I
interesting.
just that's just not something I thought about while watching it this time. I was honestly trying to be like, okay, is this worse than I remember, or is this worse than I hype it up to be? And it is a little bit for sure. But also, like,
I would.
there's a lot of good in this movie. I
Would you say
really,
this one's better than Love and Thunder?
oh yeah, oh way better, way better,
I don't think it's way better.
way better. I
It
think
might.
Love and
It.
Thunder. I think Love and Thunder's in like the bottom quarter, bottom
I
eighth
think
of
Love and
MCU.
Thunder's ending's better.
No, well,
The
it's
Jane stuff.
better than this ending. Like if ending versus ending, sure, but ending versus the movie, no.
Yeah.
Um,
I think
um,
Love and Thunder was insulting as well.
I don't know. Love and Thunder is just difficult. It's frustrating because there's a lot of good in Love and Thunder. It's just overshadowed by the like like in my opinion, like Love and Thunder, the amount of good is like the amount of bad in Multiverse of Madness. Like there is some really good stuff in Love and Thunder, but it's overshadowed by like 80% crap. Whereas in Multiverse of Madness, I'm like, there's like 20% crap and it's bad, like really stinky crap. But the 80% of the rest of it is actually really, really good, in my opinion. Okay, anyway, that's Doctor Strange 2, Multiverse of Madness. Um, my penultimate, I don't know what, second to last movie, um, Speed Racer.
Ah, Speed
I watched
Racer.
Speed Racer the other night. I was
So
like,
how
I
are the
did
graphics?
good,
Oh, you
fine.
thought that? Okay.
Yeah, like man, I swear, when I was a kid and I watched this movie, I was like, oh, so this is like I enjoyed it as a kid, but I felt like I understood. I'm like, okay, so this is what a bad movie looks and feels like. Okay, but like I still enjoy it, but I'm like, oh, this is
Yeah.
okay. This is a bad movie. But over the last few years, I've been hearing people like bring it up more and be like, actually, this is what they were going for. It has that anime thing on, like it's an art decision, all this stuff or whatever. It's not you're not taking this and comparing it to like Citizen Kane or what whatever. Like it's not
No.
trying to be that type of movie. It's specifically trying to do a certain thing. It's trying to be a love letter to the original anime, the anime art style, the anime like almost like comic panely like way it moves around and shifts and stuff like that. And with that in mind, like this movie's really really fun. It's a really fun movie.
I love this movie.
I'd say it's a decent movie. As a kid, I thought it was like all over the place. There's still a problem. I googled this a while ago, not since I watched it, but man, one thing that always
I
bugged me
get.
in watching it as a kid was the very first race. It didn't work timeline. I didn't know what was going on because the very first race he's driving the Mach 6, 5.
I don't know. I love his cars though. They're sick. Yeah, I mean, I think I I think I watched it a couple years ago and I was like, "You know what? This is cuz I had fond memories of it, but I remember people crapping on it." So I was like, "Yeah, maybe I'll rewatch it." And I did and I was like, I still give that like a 7.5. I think it's just a fun, good movie. And there's a lot, there's I saw one of the transitions is actually really cool when he's talking with who's the big business guy?
Royalton.
Yeah, when he's talking with him, there's like a transition where he's talking with him in his office, and I forget how they did it. I saw a clip of it the other day, and I really can't explain it, but it transitions to he's on the road um in a race, but the
Yeah,
transition
the
was just like
transitions
really
the
cool.
transitions are really cool, like artfully. It like there's no other movie that does this. And
Is
I mean,
this the
yeah,
one that
like
you were saying was
you don't
compared to
like
Zoom?
yes, And I
Okay.
think that this is a better movie, honestly. Um,
I guess.
like
Yeah.
honestly, like the thing that disappoints me so much with it, like I wish we would have gotten like a sequel or something of this. It had to have flopped, but so the thing that was bugging me or whatever, because the Mach 6 and the Mach 5 are the cars that he uses in it. The beginning of the movie, and it bugged me as a kid because he's driving the Mach 6. You could see it like, and I thought it was a timeline thing because like he's driving the Mach 6 or whatever, and then like it seems like for the rest of the movie or whatever, he's driving the Mach 5, and then they build him another car for the end, right? They have to build him
Okay.
another car, and they build him the Mach 6, and
Mach
that's
6.
what he drives in the end in the final race. And it bugged me because I'm like, why is he driving the Mach? You know, is it like a flashback or what? You know, what's going on? Why is he driving the Mach 6 at the beginning? Apparently, like the Mach 6, there. So he at the beginning of the movie he has the Mach 6, or it's a Mach 6, and he has that for that race. He wins that race. That's the one where he is like racing his brother's ghost the whole time, like hologram ghost or
Mm.
whatever. And then like right at the last second he like slows down so that his brother's ghost maintains the record or whatever.
Yeah.
And but he still like wins the race by like a ton. Um, and but then like he's doing other races or whatever, and then he goes to I think Fiji or Fuji or something like that is for one, and he gets him and Racer X both get like knocked out of the race, um, like they don't even finish because they get like sabotaged or whatever, and they're and I never even realized it or whatever. I guess at that point he's also driving the six, and the six gets destroyed in that race because they get like knocked off the track.
Mm.
And it's cool. They whenever like the stuff like they have like safety precautions. There's like little bubbles that like foam up around the racers, so the racers never die in these, but their
Yeah.
cars get destroyed. Um, so like that happens to them or whatever. And then when he goes to the Casa Cristo, which is like the off-road race that he has to help the Asian guy win, like him, Racer X team up with them, and then like the family shows up and they beat up the ninjas overnight or whatever. It's
Yeah.
just it's
Yeah.
crazy. So
John
yeah, like,
Goodman
and
as the
they have to
dad
like
is
they have to put a
awesome.
bunch of like sabotage. They have to put all the bells and whistles and tricks in the Mach 5, or like
Mm.
the team that he's like sneaking away with to go do this secret co-ops mission or whatever. Puts all these extra things in it, so he can't use that car. That's like a that's like a that's not like a official race ready car
Illegal.
anymore. So like, oh wow, we don't have a car anymore. We can't. And he gets the invitation from the sister of the Asian guy to the big final race. It's like, oh, we don't have a car, and they're like, oh, we're gonna build one. So they rebuild the Mach 6, but make it better, I guess. But that was just that was lost on me as a kid. Even now, rewatching it, that was lost on me. But I had decided to look
Hmm.
up the things. But yeah, I like that movie a lot.
Good movie.
It's a weird movie, but it is like it's special. It's I like it as I'm older
The
and I
twist
understand more.
the twist is definitely, I don't know if that's how it is in the
It is.
actual series.
It is.
Okay, well, I didn't know about it, so I was watching it. I'm like, I mean, when we first watched it,
Hmm.
I was like, that's sick. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah,
But to
I
me,
don't
I'm
really
like
have
that's
much
why I
else to
wish
say
there
about
was
the
more
movie.
because I wish that like cause I guess like in the original series or whatever, like Speed kind of like thinks that he is his brother, but he's
But he
not
doesn't know.
sure, and he confronts him and then, a couple times or whatever. But it's not till like near the end of the series. I was looking it up while I was watching it the other day. It's not till like the end of the series that it actually is finally revealed to Speed that yes, Racer X is Rex or whatever. Um, but yeah, I don't know. That's cool. So anyway, yeah, I was excited to talk about those. I was excited to talk about that honestly the most and Star Trek. Those are the biggest ones that I really enjoyed this week.
I'm
Um,
glad they're movies that I like.
yeah, and then the last one I did watch, like I said, last night I watched Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers. I finished the second book. I've started the third book. Hopefully, I'll be able to finish that up this weekend, and next week I will watch Return of the King if I'm able to finish the third book. Um, when we talked about Fellowship of the Ring, but I was still like lower on Lord of the Rings than most people, but like I have grown respect for it now. Um, and like the book did was better for me, and then the book also really all the understanding and stuff I got from the book and from talk like reading stuff online and all that stuff that really did elevate the movie when I rewatched it finally the Fellowship movie. That experience, like the experience of the first book and the first movie, were both like really highly elevated, and I actually like really enjoyed them this time around. The Two Towers, I really struggled to get through. I
The
finally got
movie?
the book. I
Oh,
finally got through it this week, and then I watched the movie. Um, I'm not that big of a fan of the book. I'm not a fan of the book. I'm just gonna say it. I'm not like it's fine. I like Fellowship way more. Um, I don't like like there's a lot of cool, good stuff that happens in Two Towers, um, but there's also just a lot of just eh stuff that just doesn't like. It's just not as interesting to me. Um, I've heard people complain about Stranger Things, where they're like, oh, they don't like after the first season where like the party is just constantly broken up, right? They don't like the party's just
it's
like
Lord
it's
of the
just
Rings too. Yeah.
fractured. Lord of the Rings, Fellowship is about getting the gang together, and you got the core group is the Fellowship, and they get together and they start their journey, and then at the end of the Fellowship, they break apart, and then like for the rest of the series, they're just not together, and they just keep splintering. So for Two Towers, that really like I really liked that getting the gang together and like I liked the group being together and all that. And I understand that that's just not how the story goes, but like it was definitely like something that I was really missing in this one. I think that now that I'm used to it, it won't hurt. It won't be a detriment for me going into the third one,
Yeah.
but it was a negative for me in the second one that everyone's just kind of off doing their own thing and they just keep splintering even more. Like it was, split up into
Yeah.
two or three groups, and now it's splitting up into almost everyone's off doing their own thing at this point. Um, and so that's like is that there are aspects. The Battle of Helm's Deep is a big thing. It's like considered one of the best fights in like books and in movies. In the book, I love that fight. That battle was fantastic. In the movie, it was still really really good. Don't get me wrong. I
Yeah.
just it didn't like everyone talks about how great it is in the movie, and I didn't remember much about it. I was a little bit disappointed, to be honest. I was just expecting it because I just kept hearing people hype up how great it is even in the movie, and it's not nearly as good as it is in the book.
I still think it's pretty cool.
Is good. Like don't get me wrong. Like that battle
I get
is
what you're
that battle is the
saying.
best thing in that movie in my opinion. Um, but it is a little bit. I don't know.
I think you have to
They
think
change a
about.
lot of stuff up. Also, like Fellowship is really super true to the source material. This is too, but it's like they play with like the timing of stuff or whatever. Like the way that the book is written, it's like let's see what these people are doing for a long time, and then like when we get to a certain point with them, now let's rewind the clock and let's go look at someone else and see what they're doing through all this time. And so like not very much time takes up over the course of the thing, whereas in the movie, it's probably better they do this. I don't know. In the movie,
They periodically, they bounce around between
they yeah
characters a
they're
lot.
constantly bouncing around between the different story things, which is good. I understand you got to do it like that for the movie. But it's weird. The way that I perceive the timeline for a lot of stuff that was happening is very different in the book to where it is. Also, like um, the way that things happen to me, the way I was perceiving what was going on in the book, and the way I was understanding people and and what was happening and their mentality and everything like that in the books was like way different than the way it played out in the movies. And I did confirm this with one of my friends. Like they really like two like side characters ish that I actually really liked in the book are pretty awful in the movie. That's Boromir's brother Faramir. Um, in the book,
I love
he's
Faramir.
he's a Chad man. He's awesome, and in the movie, he sucks.
He's
Um,
he's just kind of sappy, because it's like my father doesn't really like
yeah, and then
me.
he's just like, I'm gonna do the bad stuff. In the book, like he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fall to this too. It's like, no, my father's gonna respect me because I'm gonna do this. In the movie, he's just like, I don't give a crap. I'm smarter than my brother. He's like, oh, I can tell it. He catches Frodo and Sam, and he's just like, and then he figures out from them like that they have the ring or whatever, and so he knows. He's like, and they're like, oh no, he's Boromir's brother. He's gonna do it. He's like, he basically he's just like, all right, be on your way. And let me give you some stuff. Let me give you some extra supplies. You know, he's like super. He's like super like wise, and like he's like a Chad or whatever. But his dad still doesn't like him because he's not Boromir. But like, he's just he's just an awesome dude. Also, King Theoden, the dude who's like old and decrepit or whatever. It's a cool effect in the movie. That's not quite the way it is. He's not like possessed by Saruman in the book, but that's a cool effect. I like how they did that in the movie. That works. But like he is a loser in the movie. He's just constantly making bad decisions. In the book, he's also just like a Giga Chad. He's like as soon as like he kicks the little worm tongue dude out of his court or whatever, he's like, all right,
Yeah.
mount up, we're gonna go, we're gonna take our people to Helm's Deep, we're gonna get involved, we're gonna do this, that, the other thing. He's like my right hand guy, who's Carl Urban in the movie, who's just like not there in the movie for the longest time because he got banished by the worm tongue guy. That doesn't
Yeah.
happen in the book. He's just with him, and he's like his right hand dude, and he's like those two are just going to town and Helm's Deep, and like they're putting in work or whatever, and they're just like awesome like leader dudes. They're just like he's just like an awesome like leader king dude. In the movie, he's just
Hmm.
like the sniveling like, no, I gotta just hide all the time. Wah. And it's just like, oh my, like I don't know. Like I was disappointed in the book. I don't know. Like I don't even have time or want to talk about the issues
You
that I
didn't
had with
like
the
the
book.
book, and then the changes they made didn't make it
Were
really any
worse in
better.
my opinion. But like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Same thing as with Fellowship, though. Even with the slight changes, and they are slight changes. Like I understand the love that these movies get because like these movies are completely unique in the passion that's put into them, like by people who clearly love the source material. Like finding out stuff about, I can't wait to be done with these because then I'm gonna start like looking up lore videos, and I've seen some like clips and stuff of like people talking about like all the work that went into making the movies and stuff like that. And like
Yeah.
these people, you can tell watching it, like this is like a labor of love to make these movies,
Yeah.
it like in a way that in my opinion no other movie is. And like there, I have so much respect for that. Like these movies are fantastic for that. um I just think the story's a little the overall, and I
Yeah.
think that that's
I'm
honestly just
with you.
kind of, I'm kind of like like it's no disrespect to Tolkien, but like to me, I just like Tolkien. Like for me personally, I think Tolkien was great at a lot of things. Like Tolkien was. I'm not debating the fact that he's a great writer. He's super smart, or whatever. The dude is like insane when it comes to like creating a language and all that stuff. Like the world building and stuff like that, he can do all day long. My only thing, like I just, for me at least, like the story itself just doesn't jive. I keep saying, I said this to my other friends who are like big Lord of the Rings fan, like this is the most uninteresting story you can tell, like because of all this other stuff that happens in this world and the lore and stuff like that. Like the story of Frodo and the Ring is like the most uninteresting story out of all the
Yeah.
possible timelines you could tell me in Middle
They're
Earth.
but that's what they love.
I
They
know,
love that.
I don't get it. It doesn't grip me that well. I remember saying at the end of Fellowship, I think I probably said on here. I know I've said to other people, I love Sam. I love Aragorn. I mean, I also I love Gimli and Legolas. Like I love most of the party members. But like Sam was the guy. Aragorn was the guy. Aragorn, in my opinion, kind of barely does anything in the second book. He does a little bit more in the movie, but obviously the third one's really
It's
going
the
to be,
helmet.
yeah. Obviously the third one's going to be really focused on him, so I'm excited for that. But like my opinion of Aragorn didn't really change. He just didn't really do much. My opinion of Sam dropped.
Why?
Sam pissed me off in Two Towers.
In the
He
in the
is
book?
both in both.
What do you do?
Like all the problems that they have at the end of Two Towers, and I assume are going to have in Return of the King with Gollum, are Sam's fault. Sam is such a douchebag to Gollum. In the book,
Well,
especially,
he's
he is
right.
trying to. No, he's not. In the book, like they are, in my opinion, they are like Gollum and Smeagol is like a split personality. In the movie, it is that way kind of too, but more so in the book, where like Smeagol is like trying to, he's like turning a little bit. Like
Yeah, but
Frodo
I
through
don't
his
I
kindness and
wouldn't trust
stuff.
anyone like that.
No, I agree, but like Sam is being overly mean to him all the time. Like if you're being precautious and you're like skeptical of him, by all means. Like the way that Sam was acting in the first one, where he's like, scared, but like Sam is like, oh, I'm off on my own now. I'm the big boy pants now, and I like. There's someone now. There's some. I'm not the little hobbit anymore. I'm the big guy of this trio. So now I can push around this guy who I clearly don't like, and so I'm gonna. And like I do not like Sam's attitude to Gollum at all. I think that
I still think, I guess with the context of what I know happens later, I'm like always cheering like, yeah, don't trust them, don't trust Smeagol.
yeah no like
But
well Gollum's bad, like for sure, but like there was it's one of those things in the same way with Smallville, because like Smallville, like like the point of Smallville is Clark and Lex are growing up, and at one point in the show, for a long time, for a few seasons, they're like best friends, right? When they're like teenagers or whatever. But like because of all of Clark's secrets and stuff like that, and the way that Clark treats that relationship and all of his relationships, Lex turning evil is like at least 50% Clark's fault. Like,
yeah,
and that bugs me. I don't mind the trope and the thing or whatever, but like it's not like it bugs me like I don't enjoy the like the story when that trope happens or whatever, but that like I get really upset at my main characters when they're causing the bad person to be worse, by not
yeah,
being good characters, I guess. And so Sam's just driving me nuts. And like Sam wasn't the final straw. Like Gollum and Sam had a rough relationship, and in the movie it's worse when Faramir and his guys come along. In the book, Faramir and his guys come along, and they are rough on Gollum, and that's what starts turning him back to, like, that's what really kind of pushes him the other way. Again, like Frodo's kind of pulling him towards the light a little bit, like with all his kindness and stuff like that. And then like they get separated when Faramir catches them, and then when they catch Gollum, like Frodo saves Gollum. And it's really highlighted more in the book how he's really saving Gollum's life. Whereas they kind of don't make much about it in this one or in the movie, but it's somewhat acknowledged. But in both, it's really because of the way that Faramir and his guys treat Gollum that starts turning him back the other way. Anyway, doesn't matter. I definitely like Two Towers less than Fellowship. I'm hoping I'm gonna like Return of the King more. We'll see. I feel like this movie makes me feel. This movie and this book made me feel a little bit more vindicated in my dislike of Lord of the Rings. I was like, okay, yeah, this is more of the stuff that I remember not liking. Just not. It's just not for me. But maybe it'll get better.
what do you give the Two Towers out of 10?
You remember how when I was talking about Wicked, I'm like, okay, this is not a good movie, but there's a lot of like good stuff that went into here.
Wicked
Like,
for good, you're talking about?
for good. I'm like, this is not a good movie, but like, there's a lot of like you can't argue the set pieces and the sound design, everything like that. It's not like you can't give this like a low, like I give it like a 6.5 or whatever because of all the art and stuff that went into it. Even though the substance of it, I think, had problems. This is way better than that, and there's like significantly more passion and care that went into the movie. So I think I'd still give it like an 8.
Okay.
It's just
And
I
you
think
gave
it's just
Fellowship a
not for
9,
me.
didn't
I think
you?
it's just not for me. Maybe 8.5, maybe 8.5, maybe 9. Because I think that it's a little bit messy, but not messy. I think that a lot of it is
Busy.
it's busy, but I think it's just the way that Tolkien writes it. I don't think it's necessarily like Jackson or whatever's problem with the movie itself. I think it's just the way the story is. It's not necessarily. It's kind of all over the place. But
Yeah.
yeah,
It's not the movie's fault.
yeah, and yeah. So I think I'd still give it probably like an 8, maybe 7.5 the lowest. But like, there's so much. Like the way that this movie is shot and the way it looks, the way so much care is taken into every little, like the way that every little thing looks,
Yep.
it's just really good, and the score is unmatched. Like this is one of the greatest soundtracks of all time.
You know it instantly, like when you hear it.
Yeah, this it's so good. Even as someone who's clearly not a big fan of it, like just like the stuff that is like undeniably good about it, it's undeniably good about it. Like you can't. Yeah. So.
Yep.
All right, that's where I'm at. So, okay, those are the movies, and then I started watching Parks and Rec again last night for the first time in a long time. I don't know if you've seen that.
Oh yeah. Did you have any other movies or TV shows? Or
Nope,
no?
that's it for me. That's a long one. We had a lot to
Okay.
talk about.
Well, I only had a little bit. This shouldn't take long. Spider
Hmm.
Noir trailer.
Yep.
Uh, when I heard they're making a Spider Noir TV show, I anticipated it being animated. It's not. It's live action. And I was like, okay, well, I don't know how you're gonna do that because Nicolas Cage is old, but I still want Nicolas Cage voicing Noir.
Hmm.
Well, they said we don't care how old Nicolas Cage is. He's gonna be, I think it's Ben Riley
Hmm.
as Spider Noir. He's a detective, and it's Nicolas Cage playing Ben Riley and Spider Noir. So the trailer concerns me a little bit because they're you can see little glimpses they're letting Nicolas Cage be Nicolas Cage,
Hmm.
and usually I'm all for that. But when you're dealing with a character that has a defined history, like Spider-Man, I know Spider-Man Noir is a variant, so it's different. But like, there's enough on him where he's basically Batman. Like he's not Batman in terms of like gadgets and all that stuff, but like dark and brooding, and very serious. That's his character, and it seems like it's almost going a Moon Knight route. I don't know for certain, but one thing that also concerns me is how like it'll pop up with uh like during a trailer it'll have like some kind of taglines coming across like when the world needs a hero or something like stuff like that.
Hmm.
This one said with no power comes no responsibility. That's like their whole thing of, oh, I guess he can just do whatever he wants. But that I'm like, so wait, are you saying Spider Noir doesn't have powers? Because that doesn't make sense. So there's certain things that I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. But then the last shot of the trailer is he's swinging through like old New York as Spider Noir, and I'm like, that looks cool. So I don't know what to expect.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch
I'll
this
watch.
after we get off this.
I'll definitely. Yeah, I'll definitely watch it. I'm just a little antsy. Like, if you get Nicolas Cage to do this role and it's not animated and it's live action, and he is playing the guy, I'm a little concerned.
Hmm.
Um,
Comes out soon,
and
right?
then yeah, it comes out soon. Other thing I want to touch on is Super Bowl came and went, and there was no Brand New Day or Doomsday trailers. I heard that they weren't going to release them for Super Bowl, but I was just hoping that like that was just a dumb report. But no, we did not get a Brand New Day or Doomsday trailer, even though Brand New Day comes out in like 5 months.
Yeah, I feel like we definitely
So
should have seen some. But I've been thinking like this would be a good time for Brand New Day. People were complaining, or not complaining, but like when they started dropping the
Doomsday
teaser, the Doomsday teasers,
teasers.
I thought that was kind of early. Like people were like, "Man, why haven't we gotten? It's a year out." And I'm like, "It's a year out. Like I don't want teasers and stuff a year out from the movie. That's kind of
Yeah,
crazy. 5-6 months. That's when you start. For me, that's like when you I want to see stuff start
yeah.
coming out. So like
Start
for
getting the
me,
hype
for
ramped
right
up.
now, right now, if you want to drop a teaser for Doomsday around the Super Bowl, maybe Brand New Day. I feel like definitely should have been.
Yeah,
We should have gotten something for Brand New
I
Day.
don't.
But
I guess
Doomsday,
I guess
like
Marvel.
maybe a teaser.
I guess Marvel just says like people are gonna watch
That's
the
true.
Spider-Man trailer or the Doomsday trailer regardless. Why are we gonna pay like an ungodly amount to have it air during the Super Bowl commercial? So let's just drop it on YouTube and save ourselves the money, and people are still gonna watch the trailers. That's probably what they're thinking. Um, yeah, Daredevil Born Again season 2 trailer dropped as well. Ah, Jessica Jones is back. I'm not excited for that. I'm a little concerned
Man, you're a hater.
with this. I'm a little concerned with this show. It just seems like it's a completely different tone. I thought they were gonna go back to like I know you can't replicate the Netflix tone. It's a Disney Plus show. I get
I
it.
don't want them
But
to.
I thought you were gonna go kind of more towards that, and it seems like they're getting a little goofy with it.
Good.
Um,
Good. I want that.
I don't want that.
I
But
do.
so I'm a little concerned. We'll see. Um, but yeah, that dropped as well. So Daredevil Born Again season 2 dropped.
My
I don't know
my
why they're bringing Jessica Jones back, but whatever.
because she's great. They my problem with this is, or my problem with the first season was just like you didn't you spent so much time building up to it, and then you just didn't you didn't there was no payoff. So they better like this better
There's no
be.
payoff. Well, there's a lot wrong with the first season. We can talk about that, I guess,
Yeah.
next time.
Yeah.
And then finally, I didn't watch it. I don't think you watched it, but the Muppets are back.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
Yeah, but what I wanted to touch on, because this was brought to me by someone we both know, and he wanted us to talk about it on the podcast. So just briefly, the new Kermit actor is awful. Like the voice actor for it, it is way too low. It does not sound like Kermit. Like if you've grown up watching the Muppet movies, you're like the one, even the one from the 2011 movie, The Muppets and The Muppets Most Wanted, that Kermit, he sounds like the Kermit of old. Like he sounds like Kermit the Frog. This new one is too deep. It's just hashtag not my Kermit. So
Is this a
that's
special
basically it.
or is this?
I think it's just a special, but I think they're trying to, they're continuously trying to get the Muppets to make a comeback, but it just seems like the demand's not there, and I love the Muppets, so
We
I'll just
recently
put that there.
restarted, like, because my wife just finished Friends, and so she was looking for another like feel good sitcom that we like to start as like a kind of a background show or whatever. So she recently restarted How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've seen that, but that's a good one.
Jason Segel.
Jason Segel is in the Muppet movie from a few years, like not a few years ago at this point. It's
I
gotta be.
love that movie.
That's
It's
a good.
2011, I think.
I've missed like when I was growing up, I loved the Muppets, but like I haven't seen. I feel like there's been like two or three that came out that I didn't see.
Yes. I think the Haunted Mansion one I didn't see.
I
I
don't.
watched Muppets Most Wanted. That was all right.
Um, I don't think I saw Most Wanted. I think the Muppets from 2011 was the last one I saw.
And that was a great movie.
That
That
is
was
a
a
great.
great
That's the
movie.
one with Jason Segel, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that Kermit voice actor is also like perfect. And this new one though does not sound right. I don't know if you listen to it and you listen compared to like the older ones, you're like, this guy's just. You don't even need to listen to it compare. Once you hear him talk and sing, you're like, that doesn't sound right.
Who was this? Our cousin? Was that who was saying this?
Yeah,
Okay, because I know he also liked the Muppets growing up.
yeah.
What's your
So,
favorite Muppet movie? Real quick before we leave, last thing to end on. What's your favorite Muppet movie?
well, the Muppets Christmas Carol is up there.
Man,
One I
that's
need
such a
to
good one.
rewatch because it used to be my favorite was The Great Muppet Caper.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
But Muppet Treasure Island
That's a great man.
also
There's so many
fantastic.
good ones, man. Um, I don't know
The
why.
2011 movie is probably up there though.
I
I'll
don't
be
know.
honest, that one's so good.
Like I love all the classical ones. All the ones you just mentioned are just great. I think they're all like top tier. For some reason, I think Muppet State Manhattan's always been my favorite. I don't know why,
It's a good one. It's a good one. That
but
one's never been my favorite.
I'm gonna have to do a
Like
Muppet.
even
I'm
the
gonna have to do a
Muppet
Muppet
movie.
binge. I'm gonna have to do a Muppet binge
Yeah.
soon.
Muppets in Space. That's a great one.
Yeah, Muppets from Space. Yeah, gone.
The Muppet Wizard of Oz.
Kermit's Swamp Years. That was an interesting one.
That
All right.
was.
All right, it's late. It's been a long
Yeah.
one. We had a lot of stuff to cover, but we did it. We made it through. I didn't
lot.
think we would. So, all right, we can go ahead and get on out of here. Anything else you want to mention before we head out, or you want to just say goodbye to
I think
all
that's
of
all I
our
got.
lovely fans out there? All right, everybody. This has been Masking Cowl. That's been. I'm Justin. Once again, let us know what you thought about it. Let us know what you think of Wonder Man or any of these other things. Are you a Star Trek fan that hates the Kelvin timeline trilogy? Let me know how stupid I am, or don't. Get wrecked.
And go watch Eternals.
Yeah, go watch Eternals.
Go rewatch it.
Everyone should watch Eternals. I do think the next two MCU movies I'm gonna watch Guardians 1 because I haven't watched it in a long time, and I'm gonna watch Black Panther 1, so that Vandy will shut up.
Okay.
Without that mentality, I'm gonna watch it because I like it, regardless of what Vandy thinks he's hearing. I really like Black Panther 1.
I just watched it like 2 years ago. I'm not gonna rewatch it. I know what it is, so I'm good.
So, but I'm gonna rewatch it, and I think it's gonna stay where it is. I like it. I think it's really good, but you know, it's just I don't think it's like top 5. So all right, we'll go ahead. We'll get out of here. See you guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what else you'd like to see if you'd like to see us talk about anything else. All right, we're out of here. Mask and Cowl out. Goodbye.